How's it, everybody, and a warm welcome to the Web3 show. I'm your host, Pixelynx, and next to me is my friend, Cade Bergman, and together we bring you Freestyle Friday. Cade, what's happening? Nah, can't tell you, my brother. No audio. So while Cade's fixing his audio...
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
My bad.
Hi, my brother.
Mic is completely off. I'm still working out the kinks on this new mic. So I forgot I have to, everything's separate now. Like my video doesn't automatically connect to my camera, which is really annoying, but it's the price you pay for a better mic. And this is the way. So, hey, well, hold on. This is actually perfect because the show last week, wasn't it last week that we said like I should get that thing, or was that 2 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago. Then last week you told us that you got it. It just arrived, and then now you're using it. So we're good. Very nice. Congratulations.
I love this thing, bro. I love this thing. So this is actually, can I say something on this real quick?
Yeah.
Bro, this is like a physical manifestation of what I've wanted for so long. Like I've seen this mic and I've wanted this mic for probably 5 years. Not 5 years, probably like 3 years. But I've been watching people like who have it, and like all my idols always had this mic. And I feel like I'm slowly chopping down the trees until I've got most of the stuff that like my idols all have, to a point where I'm like, wow, like I kind of have most of these things and I'm doing most of these things. And I don't know, it was just a really tangible way for me to be like, dude, I'm finally like climbing up this ladder a little bit. Like I'm making a little bit of progress, even though this isn't like that expensive, but it's like a symbol for me, almost like it symbolizes it, you know? So I'm really happy. I'm really proud.
It's incredible. You deserve it. I'm happy for you too. And the best things to invest in is yourself and what you enjoy doing. So exactly. I wish you hundreds of millions of happy shows and everything on it, mate. Last you and do well for you. Yeah. So we've got a very, very exciting show. Very exciting show. So everyone knows I'm very bullish on CloneX, and they've stepped wrong in my books. Yeah. Is that fatal? That fail? Is it fatal for me, or am I still a CloneX maxi? You'll have to wait and see. We've had Apecoin Staking that's been released, and we're going to dive into that. Is Apecoin going to do what every other coin that ever has an open staking does, and is it going to fall? Or are we going to see Apecoin defy the odds and be the one coin that releases staking and doesn't fall? You'll have to find out and see. We got Dogecoin moving up and down with our friend Elon Musk, who's telling us that he wants to use Twitter coin, he wants to launch something, and we all know how much he loves Dogecoin. Is it a good time to get in, or are you buying the top? You're going to have to wait and find out. We've got Goldman Sachs news, we've got Ledger news, and lots more. Before we get into it, just want to let the viewers know that today is my last show for the year. I'm taking the family on holiday. I've promised my wife and my children that I'm not taking a computer. I'm switching off. So this Friday will be the last Freestyle Friday of 2022, and I will be back with Cade on the 6th of January 2023. You'll have a well-rested Philip, hopefully Philip 2.0. Yeah. So that's what's happening there. So just a quick, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate, and just a good holiday to everyone. It's been a tough year in the crypto market. It's been a tough year in the world. So I just hope everyone has a great holiday, good time with family, and enjoy. So today I've got a lot of topics to cover, and I've got nowhere to be, Cade. We can sit here for the next 7 hours because it's the last one of the year for me. So I haven't held. So let's get straight into it. All right, guys. So market update. What has been happening on OpenSea? We have a look over here. Yesterday we had 10 million traded. The day before 12.5 million, which is actually the highest. So 2 days ago was 12.5 million. That's the highest since the 2nd of November. Guess you got to celebrate the small victories, but there definitely has been some volume. We've seen Pudgy Penguins really pump, and then we've had a few interesting new drops, some of which we're going to talk about. Another thing I found quite interesting is the number of monthly active users so far this month. So we're 9 days into December, and we've already had 124,000 active traders. I'm not saying that that's massive, but I have heard people saying that there's only 5,000 active traders. On OpenSea alone, there's been 125,000 this month so far. So there's that narrative of 5,000 traders is not correct. If we have a look at all the marketplaces, you can see yesterday's volume, 7 million plus minus on OpenSea. Nice thing about DApp Radar, they're now including Blur. So plus minus 3 million on Blur yesterday. Magic Eden 2.5 million, X2Y2 1.5 million, and then the smaller ones about 500,000 here for LooksRare Immutable X. If you add that all together, you get about 13 or 14 million, which is not too bad. But if this was 2 days ago, we did about 22 million 2 days ago. So I don't know. Maybe this is the beginning of the bottom and turnaround. We'll have to wait and see. But definitely quite interesting. If we have a look here at the stock exchange today, if we have a look, we're pretty flat. I mean, it looks like the Nasdaq's down a bit because tech looks a bit down, but we're pretty flat. Week on week, since last Friday, we're pretty much where we were last Friday, with all the changes that we saw. If we have a look at the Bitcoin, Ethereum charts, again, week on week, we are completely flat. I mean, Bitcoin was about 17.1 last Friday. Ethereum, I think, was 1,260, and we're now 1,267. So from last Friday to this Friday, we are sitting completely flat. If we have a look at what's trending, have a look here. The top trending in the last 24 hours, according to Flips Finance, which doesn't have everything here, so we're going to also look on OpenSea, is CloneX, sitting at 6.9. Again, there was huge FUD. The floor dropped all the way to the early 6s and now seems to be slightly picking up. We've got Valhalla, who's sitting at 0.47. I think they had their reveal today, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably why we're seeing that volume. We've got Bored Apes, Other Deeds, and Mutants at number 3, 4, and 5. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 67 ETH floor. Other Deeds, 1.25, holding very stable with that 1.2 floor. We've got Mutants at 14.3, also holding pretty stable. We've got Fluff sitting at number 6, a name I haven't seen for a while. You remember those bunnies that jive the music?
Bro, they've actually hold on, what's their floor? Yeah, they've always had a really strong floor. And I've never really understood why, because I don't really hear about them or see them anywhere. They just like have a really strong floor.
So I don't think any project ever just has a strong floor. They must be doing a lot of the right stuff. But like I have a guy that's a friend of mine in the space, and he messaged me, I think about 3 or 4 months ago. And he said, look, what do I think? This is what he wants to purchase, maybe 2 or 3 NFTs. And one of them was Fluff. And I asked him why Fluff. And bro, he sent me a whole thing, like in his own words. Well, they're doing this and that and that, and they were doing a lot. So I don't know what all of that is. But I do know that to be able to maintain this sort of floor in this market, they must be doing a lot, and they must have a very hardcore support in their community.
Yeah, I think it's all very in-house. Like when I did a review on them, I forget. I always get them confused with what's that other game? It's like it's kind of similar in the sense that they've got like some kind of rabbit type of character. There's another game called
My Pets.
Yeah, that's what they like are the same. Either way, both of them are kind of similar in this sense. They basically have everything, like it feels like in-house in the sense that like they don't really need the rest of the market to do what they're gonna do, and everyone in the project is aware of that, and that's why the value of it sticks at freaking almost 3. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I want to look at the activity. I mean, this is just an impromptu. Once we see it there, we'll just, both Kate and I are a bit interested. Hopefully that means the viewers are interested also. Let's just have a quick look at it. For anyone that doesn't know, this is an OG project. I mean, I remember this project. Don't know why this isn't loading. Maybe OpenSea's down. I remember this project from over a year ago for sure. Mm-hmm. And it always freaked me out. These bunnies always freaked me out a bit.
They did, honestly, me too.
The way they move and how realistic they are.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. And honestly, dude, I'm pretty sure this was the first ever actual animated project.
Well, that's the point, is that they were revolutionary. Yeah, and I think they freak us out because they're so realistic.
Yeah.
It's almost like a human bunny, which is quite funny. So they definitely were on the edge at that stage. They all got different music stored, on the NFT itself. But I want to just have a look at these analytics because I don't really know where they've come from as far as the floor price goes, like what their activity has been for the last while. So there's been a huge jump. It went from 2.1 ETH to 3 ETH and is now settled at 2.7. And if we go here, last 30 days, well, they were 2.5 a month ago. I want to, I prefer it in the activity. Still trying to get used to all of these new things. I prefer this. I much prefer this. So this is all time. Here you can see that August 8th was when they launched. And they went all the way to, wow. I mean, on that day, well, that's an outlier. Let's say here, 7 Ethereum. They have touched it a few times before. They were sitting in June at average price 2.5 ETH. And then now they're 2.5 ETH, bro. So since June, they've been pretty stable. I mean, this is really impressive for a bear market.
I know, dude. They've always been not slept on or underrated, just like weird. Like, why are y'all so expensive? Like, what are y'all doing? They're working on some really cool stuff, dude. No, like really
they
cool
must
stuff,
be,
though.
yeah.
They are. If you guys want to check the whole review, I have it. It's like, I'm pretty sure if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's like a 20-minute review. Like, they've got a lot of shit going in their metaverse.
Well, here their pinned tweet from the 30th is that Thingy's lucid dreaming is live. So that must be a secondary drop. I'm just gauging.
I believe so.
Right.
Yeah.
It must be. When did you do that review? Was it recent?
No, it's been a few months for sure. Let me see. I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
It's interesting to me because there's definitely something keeping this community, like,
This was 9 months ago.
9 months ago. All right, but look, we'll still give you the basics of it.
Yeah, you're
52,000 followers on Twitter. This tweet from the 30th, the engagement is 100 likes. So, nothing massive for that huge following. But I think it's really that the community that they have is very dedicated, like cult-like, because as I say, the few people who talk about it are just super excited about what they're doing.
Yeah.
So definitely interesting. I don't know if anyone in the comments knows exactly what's the latest that's going on in the Fluff ecosystem. But let us know. I mean, this is their website. If you have a look over here, there's an egg claim. So we were right. That's live at the moment. Then there's also Buzzies, another free claim for those who own the Party Bears. And then there's another claim for Seeker Minters. I mean, there is stuff going on here. I mean, I didn't even know. Have you ever heard of Party Bears?
I have not heard of Party Bears. I've heard of other. Oh wait, no. No, I do. I did a review on this. These are like other collections that they're involved with. But bro, click on these OpenSeas. You're gonna be surprised at the floor on these. Like everything tied to Fluff World is impressive. I don't know.
And look here, it seems like they've got their own catalog of them here.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the bears. I push play. Let's see what happens. Nothing's happening. I like this guy. Oh, there we go. Right, sorry if I just... Right, sorry. Alright, sorry if I just have it on fight.
And that was copyrighted.
That was louder than I expected. So what did you want to see with these bears? Oh, I like this guy.
Oh, no, I was just going to say go to their OpenSea.
Oh, hopefully it will take me there.
Just for like their value. Like if you we'll just go to OpenSea, type in, oh, there we're on the right side. Right side. It says OpenSea.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm pretty sure, at least 9 months ago, at least when I first saw it, but like I'm pretty sure it was still like impressive for like a secondary and tertiary collection.
What are they at? So the floor price is 0.4.
Pretty solid, 9, bro. I mean, if you think about it, what percentage is that from the Genesis Fluff world? Fluff world's at 2.8. They're at 0.4, so 0.4, 0.8.
15%. Like, that's right. About yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty fucking good.
I wish I think maybe we should. I'll do a bit of research. We can do a deep dive into this because there's a lot of collections here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Look here. There's party bears, thingies, burrows. Okay, that's just posters, eggs, ray guns. They really are like doing quite a lot here.
Yeah,
it's quite incredible. Pretty cool. There seems like we could find it out just by spending a bit of time on their website. But yeah, definitely good to see an OG collection doing so well. And it's similar to Pudgy Penguins is doing incredibly at the moment, which is also great to see.
Yeah, they are. Well, what's his name? Luca Nets is going out all over the place and doing podcasts everywhere but here in the George Kingdom. It's no big deal, Luca. It's not like we were supposed to do a podcast 4 months ago. It's fine.
Luca, where you at? You can't.
I don't know where he's at. I mean, I had to replace him. Tonight we're interviewing Amir Hussein from Dark Labs, or from Dark Echelon at 4 p.m. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. It's at 4 p.m. PST. If you guys want to watch that live on YouTube, we're going to be dropping the alpha on Dark Labs. So if you guys want to know more, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and convince him to do some kind of giveaway or something if we can. I'm going to see if I can book that. But he is going to be coming on the show at 4 p.m. PST. So excited about that.
That's awesome. Well done. Well done. I think, Kate, tonight's show, you're going to be streaming. You're going to be afterwards putting on your channel for the first time. Is that right? Is it tonight? Tonight's Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday. I'm going to, let's see. No, I did tea time this week on my channel. So I'll do it next, or I guess the next time we do it will be whatever week that I'm not doing tea time with Tom is the ones I'll post onto my channel.
All right, cool. Then, bro, Tim Ferriss is the legend of CØCKPUNCH.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, I saw this shit. 10,000 or not 10,000. What was it? 5,000.
It's a 5,555 collection. The mint price was 0.3 Ethereum. Out of the gate, it went to and stayed around 1.5. They've been revealed, which when I was doing preparation for the show, they had not been revealed yet. So I'm very interested to see what they look like. You know what? Let me make them a lot bigger. Hold on. Let's do this. Then I don't have to click on each one because I've got so many tabs open already. So let's do this. Let's get rid of that. And that should show them nice and big.
Hey, what do you think? Because I'm not quite sure what to think about this art, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it. It looks pretty. It looks clean. Down. It looks well done.
Sure. It's just like when I think of Tim Ferriss, that's not exactly what comes to my mind about Tim Ferriss. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe Tim Ferriss is looking to jump into Web3 and create a new personality or something. But I'm not.
Well, he is. He's trying to make a brand. He's trying to make a brand called CØCKPUNCH. I mean, imagine hitting someone's cock with that glove. Someone's chicken, obviously. So he's making this brand. There's a couple of interesting things here. First of all, let's just have a look here at the activity. You can see here that the average price on the day of mint was 1.45 ETH. They did more ETH volume, 3,000 ETH. They did more ETH volume in one day than like 5 or 6 good collections combined for the whole month. Okay, that's a huge amount of Ethereum. It's hard to put into perspective how good that is. Also, to sell out 5,555 at 0.3 in this market is really, really impressive. The more interesting thing for me over here is that he has outright said that he is not committing, that he's not promising anything on this project whatsoever. Like literally nothing, that you're buying the NFT. He has said that the profits of the primary sale, so not the secondary, of the primary sale are going to a non-profit called CØCKPUNCH Foundation. Now, the only thing there that's sort of like, I looked at the foundation, and guess who owns the foundation?
Oh God, wait.
Tim Ferriss.
Okay.
It's his own charity foundation, which to me, I mean, and he hasn't hidden that. So I was in the spaces. I did have whitelist for this. I minted and I sold at a nice profit, but he didn't hide it. But it does raise a little bit of eyebrows, because in the end of the day, if you're running your own foundation, and it does seem 100% like it's a legitimate foundation in my opinion, but you can still be taking a salary, and I don't know if he is or if he isn't, but he could be taking a massive salary, and in effect, everyone else is thinking, okay, this is all for charity. 100% of the proceeds are being donated to the CØCKPUNCH Foundation, and maybe not realizing. On the other side, he could not be taking any salary from this foundation and could be doing great work. And knowing Tim Ferriss, for those of you who don't know Tim Ferriss, he is one of the most respected business guys in the world. I mean, he's really, really popular. He wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, which was a huge bestseller and still is a bestseller. I mean, he's probably close to a billionaire, legitimately. He really is well known, well respected in the space. So I highly doubt that he would do anything that would go against his reputation. You can see here a modest following of 27,000 on Twitter, good engagement. If you go to his personal Twitter, though, here you can see really what we're talking about. 1.8 million followers on Twitter. He's got his own blog. Here he's not hiding that he's the founder of the CØCKPUNCH Foundation. He's an angel investor in early startups. So you can see he's got these 5 books. The 4-Hour Work Week's the one I know. But a lot of them have been bestsellers. So there, it's interesting to me on a lot of levels, because, as I said, he has said he is going to be launching a podcast, and that the funds will be used towards that. But by owning one of these NFTs, you don't get any proceeds from that podcast. Let's say he launches this podcast and gets a massive sponsorship deal. You're not going to get anything for being a holder for it. And he said that. I mean, he's not trying to promise you something and then not deliver. He's promising you nothing. And saying, I might deliver, I might not.
So it was just a PFP community-focused drop. That's all it is, then, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
There's no Discord.
I don't. So for me, I don't have any problem with his charity thing. I'm going to do that. That's why the Jewish Kingdom is an umbrella term. It's supposed to be there as an umbrella term, so I can do anything and call it the Jewish Kingdom. So eventually I want to have the Jewish Kingdom Foundation or something like that. And so I get the whole thing of wanting to control that whole thing. As far as him just dropping a project that has no promise of anything, that's fine, I guess. I just don't I would, if you're not going to do anything, that I at least would like to know some kind of direction as to what are you trying to do at all with this? I want to know something. Is there really no information? Not even of something?
No, there is a lot of information, and it says, he's also very notable in the proof ecosystem. So they're going to be doing a podcast, and he says, I'm trying to find it for you. It's on a different website that I'm looking for. And he says, we're promising you nothing at all. We may do 1 or 2 things, but, we're really promising you absolutely nothing. Wonder if I can get there. Where was the mint? Here we go. I know. I want to find the mint link, because that took you to a completely different website that I thought I had open. Here it's just full of all the reveals. CØCKPUNCH.com. Let's see, that takes us to where I'm thinking. No, it doesn't. I wonder where the mint was, because I really want to show you the Q&A is literally we're not promising you anything at all. Maybe it will be in this Decrypt article that I was reading. It's also CØCKPUNCH.com. So that basically it's a story NFT, making a story with it, but don't expect anything for buying into it. But you're doing a good deed because you're donating to the charity. And if we feel like it, we might have, something in store, but we promise you nothing, and we can leave it as soon as we want if we want. Like straight up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know Tim Ferriss, he's about as good as it gets. He's pretty much as good as it gets for high-level entrepreneurs that you'd want to put your money into. It doesn't mean he's going to do anything particularly good with this, but it does show, like, if I was to label him with one word, I would probably just put competent. He's just very competent. He's very capable. And so I imagine he's got something cool cooking for this. But as far as him having something cool and it delivering money to your wallet, that's something I don't think you could guarantee yourself. He might do something really cool, but that does not mean the floor price would go up and you get a return on that investment. Like, I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to do here. That's why it's kind of tough, because it's like, why would anyone at any point buy into it? And if it's not a community, then like, if it's not a community and there's no promise of anything, then I don't know what it is. It's just like, but I don't know what you're buying.
Here we go. This is what I saw. So it's actually on the pre-mint page that I saw it. Okay. So please understand that our only NFT license agreements and privacy. This is not the information below, legally binding. Okay. What is CØCKPUNCH? Legends of CØCKPUNCH is a tale of a fantastical world, a place where few things are what they seem. It's not for the faint of heart, nor is it for those easily offended. But if you're ready for a bizarre ride that you won't soon forget, consider your private invitation. It's an experimental world-building fiction by Tim Ferriss. That's me. Well, that's him. And first ever emergent long fiction project of its kind. More on my bio in another bullet, but some of the basics are below. Started buying Bitcoin in the early whatever. This experiment's been planned for the better part of a year. The 8 great houses are established. The whole point is to embrace fun, dive into creativity, and put irrelevance at the core. So don't take it too seriously. For more information on the Genesis story, please listen to the podcast with Proof, Kevin Rose. Who's behind this? We know that. How will the primary sales proceeds be used? That's for the Sansei Foundation, which we spoke about. Okay, that's not relevant. Trademarks not relevant. Is there utility? Nope. Other than the commercial rights you get with your NFT, there is no planned utility, no planned roadmap, and no planned Discord. But there might be a few surprises in store. As Barry Schwartz once said, the secret to happiness is low expectations. So he's hinting that they might do something. Please keep this in mind throughout this entire FAQ. And if I'm being honest, after a few drinks, I dislike the over-promising roadmaps of a lot of Web3, and it gets my knickers in a twist when artists feel like they have all they need to become a tech startup. However, there are a few things I can say. Number one, CØCKPUNCH is easily the most creative fun I've had in years. I've been waking up excited and going to bed laughing my ass off. Okay, so that doesn't really give me any utility. Number two, I'm launching a new fiction podcast dedicated to CØCKPUNCH. It's tentatively stated for one season of roughly 10 episodes. I'm cross-promoting the launch of my main podcast, The Tim Ferriss Show, on social media and in my other newsletters. And number three, the above podcast episodes will also be published in written word on my blog, which for ages is one of the most popular blogs, and I'm confident that readers will show up and the site's English. So it's literally he's just launching another podcast series called CØCKPUNCH.
Yeah. Well, damn, bro. I mean, should
I consider this an investment? No, it's an art project for me.
Look, you're tying yourself to Tim Ferriss here. If you're buying this project, you're pretty much buying because it's Tim Ferriss. It's a similar project to like Iman Gadzhi, except he's offering even less. But he's basically just, I mean, I'm sure half the people in here are people that he knows that have high net worth, that have no desire to sell. So that's going to be helpful for him as far as like a potential. This would be a project which would have like a potentially high floor that just sits there because of how many high net worth people are probably in this project. So it potentially could be that kind of thing. But I have no idea, man. Like a Gary V's type of situation where he's saying, I'm trying to take this to Disney level is much more compelling than buying into this, to be honest. Sure. Like, I'd rather buy into VFriends Series 2 than this.
Me too, bro. This is, look, it's 2 or 3 days in. It is revealing, and we know it always drops dramatically. Yeah. But I mean, if you bought in at 1.5 Ethereum, and the floor is now It's just gone down a 0.05 since we've been talking about it. It's now 0.6. But you can't blame Tim Ferriss. I mean, this is all on you. He's made it incredibly clear that you can expect nothing. He's just having fun. That's what he's made it clear.
Yeah, and I'm down for that. I mean, if you set your things like that and the parameters are set, people know it. I have no problem with something like this. I mean, this is something like if I dropped a project that was big, it would be this. It would be this style.
Yeah, then if anyone wants to, as you said, be attached to him in some way, buy it, but expect nothing. And you might be surprised, you might not. Right. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I'm not interested in holding it long term. I was very happy to flip it. It was the first good flip that I've had in this last month at least. I mean, I minted it for 0.3. Sold it immediately for 1.5. Happy as Larry.
Wait, how'd you mint it?
I was on the allow list.
How?
I don't know, bro. I fill out, not through anyone. I fill out pre-mints, and I'm in a lot of Discords where I enter. I don't know. One of them.
How about this? Are you in the dark labs?
I am.
Ah, you fucker. How'd you get it?
I applied.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, this would be fun because if they, I don't know when they're going to mint, but we might be able to mint it live or something. Still in a while. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to do it. I'll find the alpha tonight.
I hope it doesn't mint when I'm away because I'm legitimately no computer, no nothing. But I don't think so. I've been watching their Twitter and they still seem. I don't think they're going to be pitching soon.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Guys, if you're in the chat right now, would love to know your guys' thoughts on Dark Echelon, Dark Labs. I think that whole that entire ecosystem is interesting to me because it's an alpha group essentially. And well, I mean, I don't think he says it is, but it basically is. And then Dark Labs is going to be like a secondary collection, but the supply is really low. I think it's 1,000, right?
Not 100% sure. All I know is I really like Amir, and I like his stuff. I've been watching him for a long time, and I think he's one of the more sober voices in the space. Mature, and I mean, I respect him, so I'm happy to be a part of whatever he's doing.
I haven't decided from it though. It's like it's gonna probably run up, bro. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, bro, my God.
Do you remember what happened? What was that one? That one that went to 12 or 14 ETH. It was the first application project where they literally phoned everyone. From London, also an influencer in the space.
It was the Gentleman's Croquet Club, right?
Yes.
Yep, that went up to 10 ETH, I think 11 ETH. And I told Tom, I was like, sell it right now, 11 ETH, sell it right now. And he said no. I think he ended up selling it for around 8 or 9 ETH. That's one of those projects where you don't know what's going to happen. And I'm probably gonna like Amir, if you're watching this, bro. I know we're about to do a podcast. I know we're friends, but like, if that shit runs up, I'm gonna flip it, and I'll probably buy back in. But if it runs up, bro, like that's gonna be really hard not to flip because a lot of people want this shit, and I think there's only 1,000, so like it could really run up. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, there goes Cade's whitelist.
Shit.
If Amir's listening, all right. So I want to get into this, and I want to try and tackle everything that I can as much as thoroughly as I can. I really understand this ecosystem incredibly well. And I love CloneX. I love Nike. And I love that they're in NFTs. And I've been a big fan and supporter of them, right? But what we've had happen in the last week has been really disappointing from the team. And I want to take you through it as thoroughly as I can, and then I'll give you my opinions on it. So we had the first monolith box, not this one that I'm showing you now, the first monolith box that ever came out. And in there was a CryptoKicks, a second monolith box, and the vial that goes into the CryptoKicks. And that was like an incredible thing because those boxes were pre-revealed before you were able to open them. We're sitting at 6 or 7 ETH. Yes, the market was very different to what it is now, but when you got those things, you were excited. And I even did a video of me opening my box, and people were holding on to their original box because other guys were buying it at a higher premium because it could potentially have the rare vials, and that was great. Then the second box that everyone was automatically expecting that same sort of vibe as the first one. And even in the bear market, that second box was holding a 1.5 to 2 Ethereum floor. And what they came out and did is they said to everyone, look, there's going to be a snapshot in the next day or two. This date, this particular date, this time, make sure you don't trade around that date and time. Right? Fair enough. But it was a different thing to what we used to with the monoliths, right? So they did a snapshot, all good. And they said the snapshot's going to be, we're going to drop you a monolith 3. Now, that should have been our hint to what they did, because why drop us something if you could automatically assume it's not going to be that you can reveal it. Literally overnight, they turned your monolith 2, the one that's been snapshot, they turned it into this. They unilaterally turned it into this lacing engine NFT. So you went to bed at night, you had a monolith with a floor price of about 1.5 to 2 Ethereum, and you woke up the next morning and you had a lacing system which has now got a floor price of 0.1. So that sat that sat quite hard, because they literally converted what you had into this without any heads up, and everyone was expecting to get more from it. With that said, remember, there was a snapshot, so anyone who held is going to be getting the monolith 3. They were only going to drop the monolith 3 next year, but because of all the FUD as a result of this, and I'm going to get into the shoes soon, but as a result of this, and I'll tell you what this is, which leads to the shoes, they decided to drop the monolith X, which is the monolith box 3 now. So everyone got airdropped yesterday a monolith 3 box. Whoa. You can see, mostly because of the FUD, it's sitting at half an ETH. At 0.65. Full disclosure, I got airdrop 1, and I bought another 3 off the floor at 0.6.
Bro, no.
So maybe that answers. I'm still believing these guys like you can't believe. But hold on, we're not there yet.
You got no. Hold on. They're 0.63 right now. It's gonna go down. You got to sell.
No.
Sell and buy back in later, bro. It's coming down. Why would it go up?
It was sitting at 1 ETH, and I bought in a 0.6 whatever. It's already gone down. I think it's going to bounce. But the point is this. Hold on. The point is this, and there's a lot here. They came out after all the FUD. Now, the FUD was also linked to this. The other part of this, what is this? This is basically a guaranteed ability to mint their shoes, which we're going to get into, which are really, like, controversially, I think they're sick in theory, but I don't like the design. But either way, so it's a discount. It's whitelist to mint and a 20% discount to if you mint. So you basically have to pay for the shoes, right? Yeah. And so, the community felt like they're being monetized and treated as consumers instead of as being a part of the project, right? They since came out with a tweet and said, and I've got the tweet, we'll get there, that they have made a mistake and that they're going to rectify it, and they are going to give you what you come to expect in the next monolith that they've just airdropped early to you. So what I'm saying is that before all of this, the monolith 2 was sitting at a 1.5 to 2 ETH floor. So straight away, the reason that these aren't 1.5 to 2 ETH is just because of the FUD. They should be 1.5 to 2 ETH, because at that time we thought they were going to do similar to what they did in the previous first monolith. Now they've made a mistake in monolith 2. The floor's dropped to 0.1, and now they've said we're going to do that in this next monolith. So in theory, these are worth 1.5 to 2 Ethereum. So I'm happy to buy the FUD. I also bought a couple of CRYPTOKICKS. I've been going mad, bro. This is the time to buy.
So to answer everybody's question, Philip has not gone out of and been flooded out of the artifact system. In fact, he's even more convicted after they've had a slew of different decisions that have, gone one way or the other. I don't know, dude. Here's what I think. I think when you start to go this deep and you start to create this much stuff within the ecosystem, it's just ultra high risk. It's like Doodles when they start to venture into more. I think the value has no place to go, but sometimes down, at least temporarily, just because we don't know what's going on. And obviously, like, the more there is, the less it's worth, just because of supply and demand. But I think it's also necessary, and I think it's okay if we get away from everything being about money and going up in price. It's okay for, like, us to, I don't know, evolve, I guess, but still, bro, buying it at 0.6, I feel like that's a mistake. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
I'm not
buying it at 0.6, buying 3 at 0.6. Let's just make it very, very clear. All right.
Oh man.
And it's simply because they're worth 1.5 Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
That's their value. That's what they're worth. We saw it 3 days ago. They were the box before this, when no one knew what was happening, was sitting at 1.5 Ethereum. That's what they're worth all day. And once all the fudders get out and the people who are upset, now look, I do believe they made a mistake, and they made another mistake. So let's talk about the shoe side of things. They then said, okay, that NFT, that the Monolith 2 box was turned into the lacing engine, is going to guarantee you the ability to forge, is what they call it, when you convert a digital to a physical, for these 4 different versions of physical shoes. Now, these shoes, visually, the only one I really like is this one over here, to be honest. Visually, I'd be interested what you think, Kate. I mean,
I like the ones on the far left, the white ones.
This one,
yeah, I like that one.
It's a bit
it's like
early
I mean,
for me.
I was gonna say I don't like it, but like of all the 4 that I see, I would probably have to get that one, but I don't particularly love it.
I'm going to show you better pictures of them.
Okay.
So that's my favorite, but different ones are more expensive, right?
True.
But let's just look at the shoes first. Stone's not bad. It's just a bit girly. That one's very girly.
Yeah, it is kind of girly, but I don't know, dude. The rest
that's my favorite one.
That's fucking ugly, dude.
But
okay, that one's okay. That one's okay. That's all right.
Okay, so let's just look at them. You get your different ones. Okay. It's got self-freaking lacing. There's your lacing engine. It's got self-lacing technology, bro, like Back to the Future. Do you remember those Nikes in Back to the Future?
Oh,
you
God.
charge it on a wireless charger. You can program the lights. And the other thing that it's got is their step to earn in chip inside of it, which will be part of the lure going forward, and part of their new technology. So this is the first of its kind in real life. I really like Nike before NFTs. I really do. And I love NFTs. So you mix that together, there's only going to be a total of 19,000 amongst all of these in the whole world ever. I'm never going to wear them. I don't care what they look like. In the end of the day, they are going to have historical significance that I want to be a part, right? So the FUD with this, which was mixed at the same time as they told everyone that they were that they had converted their 1.5 ETH assets into effectively a 20% discount for a mint, was they said, and another thing is that these shoes that people like me who love the brand, can only be shipped to customers in America.
Yeah, that was the part that really pissed people off.
So no, it was a mixture. They unilaterally took the box, turned it into something worth a lot less. That doesn't give you free access to these. You still have to pay to mint these. So, and you can't even be involved in it if you're not based in the US. And that's when guys started like flooring their Clone X's. The floor went from 8 Ethereum to 6 Ethereum, posting on Twitter that they're flooring them. People were angry as shit. Now, I understand that. I'm from South Africa and I'm angry as well. But I mean, I went to Kate and I said, Kate, I'm shipping you some shoes and just hold on to them.
Baby, I'm gonna start wearing them everywhere.
If you open that fucking box, I will come there myself and I will murder you. Okay?
Oh God. Man, I'm gonna do it live on TikTok too.
Oh God!
He's gonna log in. He's gonna be like, "Hey, bro, I got TikTok back," and he's gonna be like, "Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing on your live stream?" Oh boy!
No, it'll be more like, "Okay, you also got the CRYPTOKICKS, bro. That's incredible." If I were you, I wouldn't open them. So I just want to show you what it's got: Bluetooth pairing with your mobile app. And that's going to allow you to have an app that allows you to change the lights that come out the side. You can completely customize them with an app, make them different colors. Auto lacing, which is so freaking cool. Wireless charging. The NFC chip, that's the thing that's going to allow for the NFT authentication, like what we saw in the clothing. But here's what pisses people off. If you hold a lace engine, you still pay 0.34 instead of 0.44. So you're getting a 0.1 discount for a box that people bought at 1.5 ETH the day before.
No bueno.
It's just such a fail, bro.
It is.
And then this one, the one I like, is 1 Ethereum, bro.
Jesus Christ. Dude, that's
Now, the
mad
reason,
expensive.
yeah, but it's not just visually. I don't love the look of any of them, to be honest. It's the fact that they 1 ETH means a lot less people will mint it, which means there might only be 500 of these in the whole world.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I still don't know which one. I mean, I'm definitely not doing either of the whites. I don't like them. They're girly. But it's either this one over here for 0.3.
Bro,
this one's spinning.
Man, 0.3 to, that's a big jump. 0.3 to 1.
It's a big jump. So it's not even visually. I'm saying if you have 10,000 people mint this and only 1,000 people mint this, is this in real life going to be worth more than half?
Do you care? I mean, are you going to sell it?
Yes, I'm not going to wear them. I'm going to hold it and one day have it as part of my collection.
All right. Well, in that case, you have to go with what you like visually. You have to. Because you're not going to sell it.
And it's going to be worth the most. No, I'm not going to sell it for me. But like when I die, my kids are going to have to sell all the shit.
They're not going to sell it, bro. Those things are too clean. Your son's going to open it and be like, Dad, thank you so much. You'd be like, oh, that's going to be great. You're like, wait, why are you opening it? Don't open it. Yeah,
exactly. I'm really not sure, Kate. I'm really not sure which of the two, because it's a big price difference. And
yeah. I don't know, man. With this kind of thing, I mean, okay, what's the difference in supply again?
You don't know. There's a total of 19,000 that are available. You can choose any of you want. If 19,000 people want this one, there'll be 19,000 of this one. But in theory, because it's 1 Ethereum versus 0.4,
currently, though,
you
right?
would imagine.
Or is that the listed price?
No. That's the set price to forge it.
It's probably going to be the colorful one. Go with the 1 ETH, bro. You got to. You have to.
Yeah, because there'll be a lot less, right?
It's significantly better too. Like, I mean, I don't particularly personally like it, but that one's tremendously better than the black one. As far as just color. Everything. Yeah, it's got colors. Yeah. It's way more done. It's just well done. Like, you want to buy that one. I mean, if anyone's going to go to this store and be like, which one am I getting? Everyone's going to pick the colorful one.
Even if it's what, $800 more.
I think so. For this, I just feel like if you're going to do that anyway, those kind of people are going to be wanting to buy the good stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
So otherwise, you're not going to buy it at all.
Maybe I'll buy this one and I'll buy this one, and then I'll wear this one around and put my customizable lights.
Honestly, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Maybe we'll have to see. So that's all the FUD around it. Also I'll show you some of the. I mean, their advertising. I mean, obviously it's Nike, but I mean their teasers and stuff are just absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. They really, really are. Here's a cool one with music.
Dude, I love their fucking trailers. They really have a good video, dude. Or like, I don't even know how you make these kind of videos, but so good, man. Like, this shit is so awesome. It's so fucking awesome. I love it.
I also love it. Also, it's the fact that as soon as they did what they did, the next day they had an AMA. The next day they came out with a whole tweet thread apologizing, saying they're like really apologizing and trying to make good, moving the new monolith drop much sooner, saying they're not going to let the community down. They completely get it, and they're sorry that this happened. I mean, and the fact that it's still Clone X, it's still Nike. They want to be here in the long run, and I believe them when they say that they've learned their lessons from this. But I was also disappointed, man. I'll be honest with you. I had the Monolith 2, obviously, and I mean, I knew the snapshot was taken. I could have sold it for 1.5 ETH, but I believed in them. I believed that they would give me more value back than 1.5 ETH, like they had up to date.
Well, it's one of those things, like people are saying now, like they don't see any way Bored Apes and Mutants go up again, because it's like, why would they? What's the potential upside that you could get at this point after they've already released all the benefits for everyone? It's kind of similar with Clone X, in my opinion, because you're like, okay, like how much more can they keep just giving you that's going to be expensive? Like, at what point does that just start to not be the reality?
So it's interesting. There's a lot of talk about some sort of token and a metaverse. Like you can see here, this is a Clone X character with his different gear. There's the headgear that he's got. Maybe next will be virtual headgear that can be VR glasses in real life. They're going to carry on with this. They want to launch all their digital products through this. There could be a metaverse coming next, some sort of token, even though they've said they don't really want a token because it's so volatile, but some sort of reward system for partaking in it, because these shoes have got that chip in it that you can move to earn to some degree. So, I mean, look, there's a lot going on in this ecosystem. I mean, you saw in the last week they've dropped Animus, those eggs, and they've done a fortune. They're not stopping.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they are doing great things. I just don't know if as far as
Ace of Wizards, so good to see you.
Ace of Wizards, weren't you just in the Ace of Wizards? Were you in the Nifty show this morning? The NFT morning show? I feel like
everyone was there, Cade.
There was someone speaking that I don't know. But no, thank you for that. No, that was fucking awesome. I didn't expect to be on stage. I literally just joined and I was like, oh, nice, I'll catch it. And then I was like, I'll just throw up a little request, see what happens. And then got brought up immediately. And I was like, oh.
What did you do? Did you just raise your hand?
Yeah, dude. Well, Pio follows me, and he knows of me through a few other people. So I knew he followed me, and it was just started. He just opened up the space, so the music was still playing. And I just was like, let me just see what happens. Let me just try it out. I mean, this happened before where I'll just jump into someone's live and then request, and they'll end up bringing me on. Like it happened with NFT Noobs on Instagram and NFT Kings on Instagram, who both have like hundreds of thousands of followers. And I just threw up a request and it worked. Like I think because we're in this bear market, the chances of you just getting a lucky break like that are just exponentially higher. And so I just do all of them. Thank you, man.
Cool. So I'll show you here what RTKFT said, which made me bullish again. We know that the Monolith 2 CryptoKicks in real life drop wasn't up to our standards. So we worked on how we can do things better now after listening to you. First of all, the new Monolith X will be airdropped this week. We know that the Monolith reveal experience was lacking. We will rectify this ASAP with the airdrop and make the Monolith X worthy of the Monolith experience you all expect and deserve. So straight away, they're saying we will not fuck up on this new one. So even though I agree with you, there is time in between when this is going to be able to be revealed. I do think that as people's FUD dies down and they see that these guys are still here and they calm down and get their emotions out the way, that these will sit comfortably at a 1 ETH floor until some news pumps it to 1.5, 2 ETH. Due to regulation, so this is regarding the shipping, hey? Due to regulatory restrictions in different markets, there are limitations on where the footwear can be shipped. To ensure the entire community has an opportunity to get this project, at the forging event, we will pilot the RTKFT interdimensional hub service. How it works, at the forging event, Lace Engine holders have the option to mint a hubbed CryptoKicks if you don't have a US address. Select your desired sneaker size and receive a hubbed NFT. You will see hubbed on the NFT metadata. We will implement a shoe size checker after the next week's drop at a later date. Between mint and the 1st of May, you can trade the hubbed NFT on the secondary marketplace, but you'll not be able to fill in an address. This will allow holders from now to May to figure out a US shipping address. So I'm going to have to immigrate with my family to the US before the 1st of May. So that's
let's fucking go.
Yeah,
Philip's like Seattle, baby.
Yeah, why did you move to the States? I know there's this NFT project. To clarify, the CRIL app and the IRL Quest will work globally. So they're saying everything will work on them. We just can't ship them to you. But we'll give you a couple of months that will hold it for you in effect, and you can figure out, contact a friend or whatever that can get it to you, and we'll ship it to them. We know this is not perfect, as you still need a US shipping address, but we hope this gives holders some time to find out or explore secondary markets. The hub idea also addresses feedback that has been shared with us by other key community members. Monolith 2 experience has overshadowed the in real life drop itself, but we're excited about the physical. I mean, here you can see them. Bro, it's just so cool.
Cool.
It's just, they lace themselves.
That's pretty fucking sick, actually. Honestly, anything that's innovative like that makes me excited. And honestly, these are the things that keep my North Star vibrant as fuck. Because you look at this and you're like, damn, I want to be part of that, or I want to be involved with this kind of stuff. And bro, this is that chance. If you're watching this and you're not involved in Web3, look at this shit you're gonna miss out on. You're gonna miss out on being part of these things, and like opportunities will present themselves when you do things. So I just can't imagine seeing this stuff and being like, I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines and watch other people do stuff. It's like, nah, dude, you have a chance here. You have opportunities going up while people drop out, and you're like, that's a recipe for success if you take a swing. So yeah, if you're out there and you're on the fence, dude, look at this innovative stuff. You want to be part of this.
100%. And the other thing I wanted to bring everyone, it's still open, is that even if you don't hold a lacing engine NFT, first of all, you can pick one up for 0.1 and straight away get the discounts as I showed you. That if you are like me and you intend to go for this one, it's a no-brainer, because instead of paying 1 Ethereum, you're going to pay 0.76, and you pay 0.1 for guaranteed mint. However, if you want to stick to this one, it doesn't necessarily, it still makes sense because it's worth the floor is 0.1 and you save 0.1. But if you don't want to buy the lacing engine, you can still apply for the public registration. It's still open, RTFKT.com, and you can go there on their front page and apply to be whitelisted for the public. RTFKT, I'll just show you where you can go. Public mint register. It's ended. Sorry. Okay, so if you want one, you buy a lacing engine for 0.1. Where was it? Here it is. 0.099. You buy a lacing engine and then you're guaranteed of it. So I just want to jump into the comments here. I saw one. Okay. So we've got Crave Astro saying Puma gave shoes for free. They will ship it worldwide for free. That's great. And I agree. And also Adidas did the same with clothes. So I'll tell you, of the two of them, I am a lot more bullish on Adidas than I am on Puma. Now, with that said, that's Web2. So if you look at the size of Nike globally, the size of their company in dollars, and you look at the size of Adidas, Nike's bigger, Adidas is next, and then a long way down the road is Puma. So just as far as Web2 goes, Nike's on the top, Adidas is behind and trying to catch up, and Puma's way, way, way down, right? So when it comes to NFTs, Puma and Adidas are sitting with a similar floor. So I would rather have an Adidas, which I know has got more like sort of motivation to catch Nike and more financial means to catch Nike than Puma does, right? So that's why I do hold a few Adidas things, and I did hold Puma. I got out because I'm more bullish on Adidas. Adidas in Web3.
Just say it. Puma is fucking ugly.
Adidas, I actually like Puma as a brand. I do, but I've got a couple of Puma shoes. But I mean, I don't have a single Adidas shoe, to be honest.
Really?
And
I'd pick Adidas over Puma. Puma is all their designs, dude. I just look at it, I'm like,
no, I've got some nice shoes.
You know what they remind me of? In the fast food world, they're Burger King. I'm sorry. Like Puma, I would gladly work with you, but like if we're comparing you to like Nike and Adidas, I just don't. They're not comparable. It's like Nike and Adidas, and then everybody else.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. With that said, up to date, Adidas has really failed badly in Web3. Bad. Everything has been an absolute fail and shit. I know. I mean, their last drop, I don't know if you were on that show or not. I covered it quite in depth. It's a video on my channel, but their last drop with the virtual close, first of all, they're ugly as shit, and it was just an absolute joke, and the community like almost burned down the virtual Discord, worse than CloneX. So far Adidas hasn't got anything right in Web3, whereas Nike has got a lot right and just really screwed up this last week. But as I said, I've been accumulating Nike assets. I believe that time to buy is now. Not financial advice, but for me personally, I have bought a lot. I've bought a lot more than I already had.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like NFTs are like low key kind of buzzing right now. Like a lot of people are still talking about NFTs right now, and I don't know. I feel like we're like in a decent. I should probably stop talking. I'm not gonna jinx us, guys. Don't worry about it.
We are at the very, very bottom, but I do think that we may have turned.
I think it looks okay. I don't. Yeah, And when we say bottom, I think when people hear us say like we're at the bottom, I think a lot of people jump and say, oh, so we're gonna bounce back to all-time highs. I think that just means that like
no, we're at the lowest point we've ever been.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now. Like for us to get worse than here would be, I'm not even sure what that would look like. But we're seeing projects pumping. Like it's not like NFTs are dead because like projects, there's tons of money here. And like, okay, for example, Dippy's just pumped like yesterday. I don't know why. Like Dippy's is pumping. I have no clue why. I tweeted about it because I have a 1-of-1 van and it's like a rank 60 or something out of 12,000. And I got a bunch of offers on it last night and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Then I went and saw they're trending everywhere. And I was like, whoa. So like if you have an NFT and you're listing it for like $100, don't even bother. Just hold it and just see what happens. Like you never know what's gonna just fly one day. And I don't know, man. I mean, NFTs, I feel like you just buy it and you just let it sit there and you just fucking pray. Just pray for some reason it pumps and then you flip it. It's like we're at. Hey, Crypto Dream's in the house.
What's going on?
Let's go.
It's caught up now.
Yeah, we were chatting
Good
earlier.
to see you, my brother. Good to see you. We got 2 questions that we're going to get to from Crypto Dream. Hopefully 2, but at least 1 for sure. So far, he's our most consistent question asker, commenter, viewer. I mean, if there was a award, it would definitely go to Crypto Dream. He missed the beginning where Crypto Dream said that this is the last Friday show for the year. Because next Friday, I'm taking my family away for 2.5 weeks. So today's the last show for 2022. And then Kate and I are going to be back doing the show on the 6th of Jan. So I'm going to miss you. Yeah, but I got to do it.
You're going to have so much fun. Yeah, he's going to be unplugging from everything. He's not bringing a phone.
Everything.
He's not bringing a laptop.
No, so Bianca said I have to take my phone and I can leave it off, but I have to. No, Bianca said she wants me to have it. I mean, look, the camera's at the house to log into that, and a whole lot of stuff. Banking apps and whatever, just in case I need anything. She's right. I need to have it, but it's going to be off and in the safe. Not interested at all.
I am going to be traveling on December. I think the 3rd week of December. So in like 2 weeks or a week and a half or so, I'm leaving to go to Colorado, see my family. So I'm excited about that. I will be bringing my phone and laptop because I can't. I like it too much, bro. Like I literally like it too much. I can't imagine not bringing all my shit. I like it
too. But I think you'll be a little bit different, Kate, when you got family. I like kids and stuff because it detracts. It puts the focus on me instead of like just being on family time and it making me also think and this and that. So yeah.
Well, also, my family bonds over like nothing time. Like I didn't really realize till recently, but like my family is very much about quality time together is like a big, I guess, love language because my parents are not great at communicating their feelings. And I think they communicate by just being with each other. So we'll sit in a room and just kind of like be there together. And everyone's kind of doing something different, but we're all there next to each other. And that's kind of how we all just bond, I guess.
No, but you can't. Exactly. But you're not going to take your phone out and start, here I am bonding with my family. You can't.
No, I just bring my stuff because I want it to be there in case I'm like impromptu live stream or impromptu something. I like having it there as a.
I understand, but I'm a black and white type of person from the perspective that I'm all or nothing. So when I'm doing something, I do it. I mean, you've seen, I haven't missed a week since I started this a year ago. Never, absolutely nothing. And I give it everything. And the same with work and everything. So when I'm on holiday, if I'm sort of 1 foot on holiday, 1 foot on streaming, 1 foot in Perkel, my business, looking at emails and just keeping an eye on things, then I'm not doing any of those 3 things properly.
Yeah.
I would much rather have the holiday box, empty it of everything else and focus on literally doing nothing and holiday and spending time with the
But you fucking earned it, bro. You earned it and you worked and you already accomplished like awesome shit, and like I'm still working my way up that ladder. So I'm just like, I'm in a different place right now, but you fucking
But I'm also still grinding.
You're grinding and that's the reason I'm here because like you said, you haven't missed a show. You're one of the only people who's still consistent. You're one of the only people who still put in work. And that's where I identify. I identify with people who put in the work. I like those kind of people. Yeah. So like, that's why we do this show all the time. And that's why this is a great show. And people who are here get a lot of fucking alpha.
Yeah. And they get to see our relationship grow and get to know us as people, which I think is also good. So this is interesting. And this is some Kalinko family alpha. So Danny, so first of all, a big happy birthday to Danny and Jake, my twins. Today are 10 years old. A huge happy birthday, my boys. Sometimes they watch. I don't think they'll get this far in because I think they find it boring. But Danny and Jake, a big happy birthday, my boys. I'm so proud of both of you. And yeah, so Danny comes to me and says,
sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, for his birthday, he wants a computer so he can do YouTube like his dad.
No fucking way. Yes.
Yeah. So hold on. So Bianca comes to me. So I say, look, I got to talk to Bianca, right? So Bianca comes to me. She says, can you believe it? Danny wants to do YouTube? Absolutely not. I'm not interested in it. It's a dangerous world, and I don't want him, giving out any address or any phone numbers or saying anything that he shouldn't or showing people around our house and people are asking. So here I am in the middle. I'm stuck. I understand exactly where Bianca's coming from. And something you said to me the other day also I stuck in my mind is that I don't want them, and you said this to me, I don't want them to become also obsessed with the clicks and to put their self-worth on their views. And they've got to focus on their homework during the week. And so I had a whole long conversation with Bianca. And I said, so look, I agree that there are concerns and we need to address those concerns. And we can do that by having, rules in place. They can only do it on the weekend because once the one's going to be able to do it, all of them wanted to do it. I mean, Raf's a great soccer player. He's been asking me if I can post him playing soccer on my channel.
I haven't watched my old videos. I have a second channel. And if you go back enough on my channel, my main channel, you'll find all the soccer free kick videos, the highlight videos. You'll find it all.
100%. And Jake wants to show his collections. I told you, Jake's like me. He's got a whole Hot Wheels collection, whatever. So we've said no. We've said no, not interested. So anyway, I won't bore you with the details, but I had a long conversation with Bianca about how I believe that this is the future of media. And I think it's a great skill for them to have in their life, to be able to learn how to edit, and also for their confidence to be able to learn how to be in front of a camera. And yes, there are concerns, and yes, there are risks with regards to them putting too much value on it and everything. So we've come to cut a long story short, we've come to a compromise, which is what all good marriages are about. And we are going to do it. They're each going to have their own channel, each of them. And each do whatever they want, but there's very strict rules in place. It will only be on weekends. We still have to structure all the rules, but it won't be live shows. So Bianca will be able to vet it before, and if things need to be cut out, they'll be cut out and whatever. And yes, so I've promised them on this holiday that I will set them up with what they need. So it's not really going to be much of a holiday for Dad, and show them how it works. But yes, so it just made me think of it. I actually wasn't going to say anything. This is completely off the cuff. But Kansas, he said onboarding the family into NFTs.
Dude, that's awesome.
And funnily enough, I actually, not NFTs, but onto YouTube and all of that. So
you went from absolutely not to find the entire family can be on YouTube.
Yeah. But with some rules in place. She saw what I was saying. She thinks that it can teach them very valuable skills, even if they learn just how to be an editor from it, which is something they can use in the future, make money from in the future. Even if the channel doesn't pan out, there are some positives around it. And I think that now's the time. I also said to her that you never have as much time as when you're young. And if this is, instead of them sitting there and watching crap on their iPad all day, if they're actually sitting there and creating content, well, who knows? One of them might blow up and they might have a successful career out of it alone. And if it doesn't work, they'll develop confidence and skills that they wouldn't have otherwise. So if we can address all the concerns and put things in place that make those concerns null and void, let's do it,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say also, that I didn't even know it's your kids' birthdays. So since I'm probably gonna have to resend that shirt anyway, I'm just gonna send a few extra beanies in there. You think they wear the beanies?
Shame. Yeah, they'll wear them. I'll make them wear them on stream.
Let's fucking go. All right, I'll send a whole family's worth of beanies your way.
All right. And my
wait, hold on. It's summer there, isn't it? It's summer there, isn't it?
No, it doesn't matter. By the time it gets here, it will be winter with how long it takes.
Well, I was gonna say I have the hats too. I could send the hats instead if the hats would be better.
So the thing is, Kate, you know what you do? Do me a favor. put whatever you want aside. And when you get my CryptoKicks, which it sounds like it's going to be May, January, February. Okay, it's quite long. Hey?
No,
I was going to say I'll pay for a proper courier door-to-door like a DHL, because the problem is the post office in South Africa, which is how it comes if you send it through the post office your side, is just hopeless. If there's pictures of the post office with parcels to the roof, and it's a 7-story freaking warehouse. It's just a joke.
Okay.
So, but you're sending me free stuff, so I'm happy to cover the DHL side of it, because I don't want you to have to pay. But yeah, I mean, if we send it via post, there's like a 90% chance I'll never get it.
Yeah, because it says delivered and it says everything went through on my end. That's why they can't help me. They're like, sorry, we don't know what to tell you. Like it's there, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not. So I'm not sure what to do. So okay, we'll just figure that out later, and we'll figure out how to get that postal thing situated.
Yeah. Do your hoodies have zips?
No, my hoodies are not zipped.
See,
I don't like the zip.
You know, Kate, it's because you're 20-something. When you get to 40, you can't lift the thing over your freaking head. So I only have hoodies with. I only have hoodies. You do take it off when you shower.
Well, yeah, you take it off like every now and then. You take it off. You leave it on. Like you put it on, you take it off, but it's like shoes. You leave them on most of the time. Like when you got them on.
You see, for me, I can't get out of the hoodie. It's like, oh, sorry, I'm late for the stream. I was taking my hoodie off. You know, it needs to have a zip. It needs to have a zip for me.
I don't know, man. Just zip hoodies are fucking ugly.
They're not. I've got some cool ones. All right, let's get into it, Kate. We've been. I've loved it, but we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Apecoin staking. All right. So it's live. Rewards will only start accumulating on the 12th of this month, which is not that far away. We've seen the price go all the way up to $4.50, which is exactly when I sold. I haven't, just to cut to the chase of what I've done, I have a mutant, and I have not staked. I bought Apecoin when I told all of you, not financial advice, to buy at $2.90, and I sold all of them at $4.50, and they've now gone down to $4 roundabout. That's where it's sitting. But my problem is, once the rewards start being claimable, which will be from the 12th of this month, so in 3 days' time, usually every time I've seen staking in a token, in any ecosystem, that leads to the token value losing value, right? Because now it's accruing rewards, so more coins are being put into circulation than before, and that always devalues the existing coins that were there. So that's my thinking of it. So I just played the arbitrage and bought the Apecoin when it was low and sold it just before this time now, which is what's happening. But basically, you can stake at any time, which is interesting. So it's not like you have a closed window like people usually do. You can literally buy a mutant in a month and if that mutant hasn't yet been staked, you can stake it. If it has been staked, you might even be able to claim the other person's rewards if they haven't yet. But yeah, that's interesting to me. So it's an open-ended staking. There isn't like you've got a week to choose whether you want to stake or not. Right. I have gone through the staking before, so I'm not going to, and there is a video on it on the channel, just look up staking or Apecoin, so I'm not going to go into it, but basically, like always, if you have a Bored Ape, you get a lot more value than a mutant, and if you have a mutant, you get some value, but not as much, and if you have a dog, a kennel dog, it adds a bit to your benefits over there. So just interesting to me that it has gone live. We saw $32 million was staked on the first day of it going live.
Yeah.
I think that's what this article wanted to say. Oh, no, this was a different thing. Analysis and prediction. Yeah, this was really interesting. So the consensus seems to be that $4.20 or $4 where it is at the moment is not going to last. It's going to go down.
Yeah. Honestly, I saw a tweet earlier today about someone who staked it, and they're basically earning like $200 a day, I think it was. But he's staking, I believe, a Bored Ape and then one other NFT. But basically, it's like one NFT. It might actually be a mutant. He's making a couple $100 a day, but they don't start making money until whenever that thing starts.
The 12th, yeah, which is when you're going to see the value change, I think. Yeah, look, I mean, for me, I used to be a sucker for all of this stuff. But the truth is, it might be worth something in the beginning, the first few days, and then
Yeah.
it's just gonna, because until Apecoin actually has a use case, like they should have done this with the launch of their other side, proper metaverse, which I know is years away, but
Yeah.
then the Apecoin would have some sort of use case and utility where you could use your Apecoin in their metaverse to buy things. Then you've got some Apecoin being burnt at the same time as when you have Apecoin being printed. But here, as it stands this second, all you have is Apecoin being printed
Yep.
from the 12th, with no incentive for anyone to burn that Apecoin, which I think is an oversight and quite surprising from like such a huge ecosystem that they didn't launch this together with some sort of use case for Apecoin at the same time.
Yeah, I think they're really, really leaning on just their brand to do most of the work. And that's honestly part of the reason why that brand scares me, because they're literally just like, you're going to run out of like slack at some point of just like being able to just rely on the brand to do it. It's like, it'd be like if Gary Vee just kept dropping things. You'd be like, all right, it's not really worth anything if you just drop it all the time. You just like print stuff and you're only relying on the brand that you have. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think about this yet. I don't know, man. I really don't know enough about this. Because like staking only works if it's really like, I don't know. Yeah, there's gonna be real use case. There's just none right now.
Yeah, at the moment there's none. And basically they're going to be releasing over the next couple of years another 175 million Apecoin for this into circulation, which is 17.5% of the supply. Yes, it's going to be slowly, so they say here over the next 3 years. But they really need to have, okay, use your Apecoin to buy this, something that people want to buy at the same time. Otherwise, this stuff does not work.
And it's hard too, because they've alienated themselves. Like, what are you going to buy with it? Like, unless you're a rich person, like, what are you going to buy with the Apecoin that you would want to be part of? Like, with Bored Ape Yacht Club, there's nothing in their ecosystem other than the Apecoin.
There's so much you can do with it, though, Kate. I mean, I just wish, I don't know why they haven't thought of it.
Who's going to buy it?
They're freaking holders, the same people that are holding, you know.
It's not enough, though. It's not enough to make it work.
It is enough. They've got, what I'm saying is this as a thing. And you know what? I said that Elon should do different colored ticks. And I was saying that, and like a week later, I'm doing different colored ticks. I'm not saying that he saw my tweet, right? So I'm going to say this. And if this happens, then I'm stopping to say my clever stuff and people must freaking pay me for my ideas. So for an example, you got 10,000 Bored Apes. All of those people, not all of them, because some of them bought in at different times, but a lot of those people have been airdropped hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, we got to assume that they've got good money. Even if they bought in now, especially if they bought in late, they've got good money. So what you do is you say, okay, we are doing a 1 ounce 100% gold, not gold plated, 1 ounce gold Apecoin that you can buy for 10,000 Apecoin. And like that value just in pure gold alone is whatever the gold price is today, right? And what $2,000 an ounce, $1,500 an ounce, somewhere around there. And they could charge the equivalent of $5,000 an ounce because it's this exact thing in gold, but there's still at least always $2,000 of value in that. And you've got a collective thing from Bored Ape Yacht Club with the BAYC on the top or something like that. That's just one simple idea of something that could be used to incentivize burning at the same time as launching of staking.
Yeah, I mean that is one.
Do you like it? Yeah. I think it's a great. I mean, it's such a great idea.
I mean, it's good. It'll last like however long people buy those for, like a day or two.
Because there's people who collect coins, so it sort of like ties in the two. Like we got Nike and CloneX ties in the Nike guys and the
But is
NFT
that
guys,
enough to like?
So you get 1,000 people out of the 10,000. And then you could do a mutant coin and maybe you get another 10%. So 2,000 because there's 20,000 mutants. So you sell 3,000 gold coins and each of them costs the $5,000. That's what? $5,000 times 3,000. Is that 1.5 million or 15 million? Do you have a calculator?
All right, what is it?
3,000 times 5,000.
15 million.
That's $15 million of Apecoin that gets burnt out of circulation and they've had 32 million stakes so far worth of it. So that offsets half. That offsets half, and that's assuming that only 10%. I can tell you that of Bored Apes, 30% will go for that coin, not 10%.
In that case, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good then, actually.
Thank you.
Enough said.
Copyrighted, trademarked. If I see this happen, I'm going to kill someone.
I'd be surprised if they didn't actually. That coin actually is kind of a good idea, like a shiny little coin filled with gold. Yeah, those Bored Apes. Yeah, I don't think those Bored Apes.
Brilliant idea.
I don't know if those Bored Apes will be able to say no to that. You might be right.
I am right for sure, and it's always got the gold value. I'm not saying gold plated like Azuki's stupid skateboards. So this is a good thing to punt. If anyone needs unique advice for their project, give me a call. I got great ideas. This is on the cuff. Thinking of ideas. You've got a token. You need to think of a use case for it because you want to launch staking. Call your man Philip. We'll think out the box for you. Okay.
Yeah. Never mind the fact that you need thousands of people to buy it though, for like all these NFT projects.
Yeah, but you've got a community already of people who are invested. You've got you've seen that with Nike's drops. They're able to ship thousands of shoes because they've got an active, committed community. That's the benefit
they have
of NFTs.
Fuck ton of money to do that. Like you have to have a shit ton of money and capital to be able to make all those coins too, and then sell them for an artificial coin that you're about to.
Yuga's remember they're selling them for $15 million.
No, Yuga has it. I'm saying for other projects though, they don't got it. No, other projects don't got it.
But bro, you can make those coins after people buy them. Like it will be shipped in 2 months.
Sure. No, it's tough for projects that aren't VC funded though. I think Joe Carlos said it best. He's like, they're all slow bankruptcies waiting to happen. Like there's no other way. But something like
this is a way to make money without launching more NFTs.
Right.
So I'm saying, if you weren't Bored Ape, if you weren't Bored Ape, do the sale first, get in $15 million. So you already got an NFT collection. Do the sale of coins first, get in the $15 million. Get the coins minted and send them out.
How much does it cost to get the coins though?
You're only going to do that after you've sold. So if you sell $5 million worth of coins, it's going to cost you a third of what you're charging. So then you take $1.5 million and mint the coins and send them out, and you've got $3.5 million extra.
Are you talking about real coins or?
I'm talking about real gold coins.
So it's going to cost. So they're going to get the money from the mint, use some of that money to go buy the coins, resell them for more money, get more money.
No, they're not using the money. Yeah, but they're not using the money from the mint. They've already got an active community who have minted their NFTs. And now they're saying, if you want to buy these coins, we're doing a drop of physical coins. This is the price. Get money in from the existing community for that. Spend a third of it to get the coins, and the rest is profit. If it's a lower community, which most every other community is, do pure silver coins. Sure. 1 ounce silver coins. Yeah, like get in $1.5 million instead of 15 million, and spend whatever $500,000 or whatever it is to mint them.
Come on, Doge pounds, give me a Doge coin.
Dogecoin. All right. Anyway, so that's that. Talking about thinking outside the box, we have Ledger doing exactly that. We've got the new Ledger wallet coming out. Anyone who's ever handled the previous Ledger wallet, it's finicky. Yes, it does the job in keeping your crypto safe, but in the end of the day, it's a mission. I don't know about you, Kate, but every time I have to do something on my Ledger, I'm just like, screw it. I'm not doing it. I hate it. I hate dealing with it. Ledger Live doesn't talk properly. I have to close it. I have to reopen it. Pain in the ass. So Ledger wants to... Yeah, me too, bro. Ledger wants to make it easier, make it much nicer than what it is currently. They've got in the guy who designed the Apple iPod in the early days and the early Apple phones as their designer, and this is what they've come up with: a very slick looking black and white screen, so not full color, but you don't really need full color, and obviously they want to keep costs down, so almost like your e-reader or whatever you guys call it over there, right? The thing that you can read
Kindle
books on. Kindle. Thank you, Cade. So it's going to be black and white. Love this curved design, and definitely going to be a lot more user-friendly than the existing thing that we have over here.
Dude, they are crushing it. And for people who also have Ledger, my friend Katie is the community growth lead and partnerships manager for them. And I did an interview with her a few months ago, but we're going to get her back on. I told her a couple months ago, and she was like, let's do the podcast, but let's wait a few months. Ledger's got a bunch of things coming up, and I guess these are some of those things that are coming up. So really excited to talk to her and figure out kind of what's going on, what's up next for Ledger, because they've been fucking killing it.
Yeah, so this is really, really cool. Not something that I would personally flex when I do get it, because you don't really want people, you don't want to be carrying it around and holding it, and next second someone just grabs it out your hand. But here you can see $279. Currently, you can pre-order it. It's got Bluetooth, so you don't need to bloody connect it like you used to. USB-C touchscreen, wireless charging, which is really, really cool. Over 5,000 coins supported. Your NFTs can be shown on it also. Really cool, man. Really, really cool. And compare that to spending $150 on this basic ledger, compared to you spending $280 or whatever it was, $279 on something that really is the step forward. And you know what makes me excited about this the most, Kate, is I think this is something that was needed for mass adoption. I'm not saying that this is going to lead to instant mass adoption, but I mean, like, it takes so long to set up those old ledgers and to understand them. This is a good step in the right, right direction.
Yeah, for self-custody for normal people, this is so good, like so good. So
it really is cool.
Yeah,
man.
Really, really happy with this. This is going to be very helpful, because, dude, imagine a normal person trying to do a ledger, bro. Oh my God. I barely can do that shit. I could barely do it.
It took me 7 hours to get it set up and understand and create a wallet and watching YouTube videos. This is going to make it seamless,
It's still the best. Like, it's not actually that hard to use, but like, I just don't want to do it. It's just like a bunch of pains. But
once it's set up, it's not so hard. But yeah, this is, once you've got a user interface that is easy to use, instead of like squinting at this tiny little screen, and I don't know, just not easy. And now it will be, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Awesome. And then we got Kate's best friend, Elon Musk. The
role for crypto in the future, baby.
So this is all about him hinting at a Twitter coin, which is really interesting. So I'd highly doubt that is going to be based on Doge. I think that I don't know. Do you think he's going to launch his own coin and go down that route, risk the security side of it? I mean, I don't know. It's really, really interesting.
That one's tough, dude. I don't know the answer to that question.
I mean, he hasn't shut up about the fact that he needs crypto in Twitter. He hasn't shut up. He needs it he wants it. He wants it in place. So he's going to make it happen.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like if they did one, they'd want it to be like a stable coin style, not Dogecoin, where the potential could go up or down based on like news.
And they would want to control it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they would want to use like a stable coin. So I feel like they might make their own.
Yeah, well, Dogecoin has been going up and down daily, as some people think that they're going to be a part of it. Other people think they won't. And you see those emotions up and down.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's what was tweeted by one of the Twitter team members, who then deleted it.
Whoa.
But I mean, that's a coin, and that's the Twitter logo.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. I did not hear about that.
Yeah, so it was Jane Mantron Wong. Yeah, you can see her Twitter, and she later deleted it.
Pretty big mistake right there. Why would you even post that?
Oh, no, bro. Nothing's a mistake like that. She probably did it on purpose.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So people are wondering.
Damn. Yeah, that's a tough one, dude. What do you guys think in the chat? Like, would you rather have Doge or Twitter coin? I feel like
much rather have Twitter coin.
Twitter coin makes sense, but
yeah, the problem with Doge, we've said it before in the show, the problem with Doge is that currently its system won't allow for a lot of transactions. I think it can do like 10 transactions a second or something stupid, bro. It's never had to. So they can either do like an Ethereum type upgrade, which, look, he's capable of, not him personally, but he's got the connections to maybe make Doge into that. But why go through all of that when you can just start your own without the FUD of Doge and the fact that it's a meme and all the shit, and do your own coin? And I don't know. You know, the problem with the Twitter coin, its own coin, is that it then opens them up to potentially being a security, which is a big problem. Don't know.
Yeah, that's a
Or they could just say we are a security. I mean, and then do the necessary regulation that needs to go along with that. I mean, he's not scared of regulation. It's not easy to get a right to launch a bloody spaceship, but he jumps through the hoops. And
I think he's just more about doing it himself. I think a Twitter coin makes better sense than adopting Dogecoin. Maybe they do both. Like, I don't know, but I feel like you got to have a stable coin style of coin if you're going to do this kind of thing. If it's going to be like tipping or whatever they decide to do with this.
What about if you just have you'd have to have your own token. You have a Twitter coin that can be bought with Doge or with USDC or whatever, Ethereum or whatever. But I think you got to have your own personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Interesting one for sure. Going to keep our eye on it.
Elon Musk, baby, out here making waves every single day. Pissing off
Did
lots
you
of people.
Did you see? There were pictures of him turning offices into bedrooms at Twitter.
Did not see that. Is that real?
Yeah, proper, legit. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I'll try to find it while we chat.
Is this
so first of all, he's made himself. Yeah, no, bro. You will work until like midnight, and then it's a bit late to go home, sleep here, and we'll see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That's crazy, dude. That's. I mean, honestly, like, I don't mind that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's funny. I think it's probably, hopefully it's just there as an option, not as so much like expecting you to sleep there.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's legal to expect it. Yeah, I mean, it's coming up. I'll show you. And the other thing is that apparently he's made one for him. We know that he used to sleep at Tesla all the time, eh? He had that like little pack-up house thing next door. So this is James Clayton. He's reputable. It's not just like a random account. And here you can see some of the office rooms have been turned into like either a couch there, that's just been, or that might be lawns. I don't know, because that one looks quite nice. Look at those two
pretty
screens.
Nice one right there. He's gonna be watching some kinky shit on that TV.
I don't think so, bro. He's going to be watching on the one screen because there's two screens. On the one screen, he's going to be watching the Dogecoin chart.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other screen, he's going to be watching either rockets take off, or he's going to be watching his Twitter feed, or something. He's
probably on a Twitter space. He's going to be on a Twitter space. It's fucking hilarious.
There's got cupboards in it, and they say slippers, and then they put a laundry, so you can do your washing. Don't know.
Damn.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. That's fucking. I like that, dude. What do you guys think? What would you guys do if he? I feel like I would be worried about it like starting to smell though, like people napping, drooling, sweating.
Yeah, well, you just get people into Russia. I don't know, bro. Each their own. Look, no idea what to think of it. I don't understand how Tesla is still functioning because the guy is clearly, it did remind me of SBF. I mean, there's hundreds of pictures of him sleeping like this in the FTX days.
That's fucking wild. Dude, look at all those fucking screens. What?
Yeah, everyone has 6 screens.
Oh
well,
my
had. But also, look at all these blankets, okay? They're all sleeping there, bro.
Dude, I feel like there's gonna be so many people who are like cleanliness freaks who are gonna be like, what the fuck? Y'all like reusing each other's blankets and getting all each other's body odor shit all over it, and like some people are gonna have like dandruff. They're gonna have like fucking white pieces of fuzz in everyone's blankets, and then next thing you know, they're gonna have fucking lice. What did he say to give? Wait, what did that first article say?
Yes.
Wow.
Elon Musk, bro. That's it. I mean,
bro, that's me. That's me right now. For people who don't know, right behind me is a beanbag, and in that beanbag, I sleep. I literally, when I'm done working, I literally turn off my computer and fall into my beanbag and fall asleep. That's how I do it. So I'm similar.
Don't you get a sore back when you?
No, dude. I've been doing it for 6 months. I've been sleeping on that beanbag. It's a big beanbag. It's like huge.
Still, bro. Wait until you're 40. You can't do that stuff anymore.
Why not?
Your back, bro. Wait,
you'll get. I do pull-ups.
No, your back gets sore if you sleep on a freaking beanbag for 9 hours, bro, or 8 hours or whatever.
Bro, I don't sleep. You know I don't sleep. I'm not actually sleeping there. I'm just sitting there.
What do you mean you don't
I
sleep?
sit there for
Everyone
40
sleeps.
minutes, and I get back up. Like, I don't sleep. I don't got time.
Kate.
No time for sleeping.
Okay.
NFT land, guys. You're sleeping, you're losing.
Yeah, if you don't sleep, then you make bad decisions when you're awake, and that's
I didn't sleep tonight, and I got onto the Nifty show. That's all I know. I didn't sleep, and because of that, I got into the Nifty show. Like that's all I know. You know, I didn't sleep the other day, and I closed the deal, and I paid rent in an hour because I didn't go to sleep, and it was 3 a.m. So like every time I don't sleep, I'm always positively reinforced.
Yeah.
But also, in the same respect, I could also say, instead of the fact that I didn't go to sleep, it's that I woke up early. I was awake early. Could also be the other argument. Maybe getting up at 6 or 7 could also give me the exact same benefits. And right now, all I know is that PO enjoyed me on the show, so I'm going to try and make it to every single one, even though it's fucking 7 a.m. for me, because I'm 3 hours behind them, and they start at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m., whatever they are. It's 7 a.m. for me, but I've been needing a reason to get up. I didn't have a reason, so like I just wouldn't get up because there's no reason to. But now that I have that pressure on me a little bit, and you know, obviously they're way bigger than I am, so I'm like, shit, maybe this could be my motivation to get up now. Because Twitter Spaces, you don't have to like do anything. You're just there, like on your phone. I could just be in my bed doing it, you know.
I do.
But we'll
Look,
see.
I used to work through the night. I used to. I mean, for many years, and I
you work
functioned
through the night now. What you mean? You're talking to me right after the show. You were like, bro, I'm gonna hang out for a little bit, then I'm gonna go back and edit everything, make sure thumbnails look right.
Yeah, I'll work until 3 in the morning, but then I go to bed. I don't like work through.
Dude, going to bed at 3 a.m. counts as like staying up and like working through the night. Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, not technically through the night, but like 3 a.m. for me, that's a normal day. But for most people,
I used to work through the night in the early days of Perco.
Okay. So I'm on the right track then, because that's what I'm doing right now at 24.
Yeah. I mean, long term it's not sustainable, but when you're young and to push it for a couple of years to push. But then when I used to go to bed, I used to sleep as long as I wouldn't have an alarm. I would go to bed and I would sleep as long as I needed to. And then I would wake up. Sometimes I would wake up at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, because you went I woke up at
because you went to bed at 2 p.m. after not sleeping the night before.
Yeah.
You know,
I woke up at.
It's not good though. You need.
I got up at 4:30 yesterday. I got out of my bed at 4:30, and I left to go to the gym at like 6. Like nothing happened yesterday. I went live on TikTok as I was walking.
How does it feel? How does it feel walking into the gym as your gym morning workout at 6 p.m. and having people who have just finished work going to the gym? How does that feel?
I don't want to think about that. I felt. Here's the thing, like. I was awake and I kept falling back asleep and being very comfortable in my being. So I was awake / periodically sleeping / napping from basically 12 noon until 4:30, 5 o'clock p.m. So I was still doing stuff in my bed a little bit, but like not really. So I still felt that the day had kind of gone, like things had happened, but it was definitely weird after the gym because I get back to my apartment and I'm like kind of ready to get started. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's like 9 o'clock at night already. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so I would say like one of the things that I attribute to some of my, I don't know, stability in my life is a good routine. Yeah. So getting up the same time every day, you know, the same routine, having that consistency is incredibly valuable. And if you don't have to, if you know you can schedule things in advance, you know, and so, I mean, long term is not sustainable. That's what I mean. You do short term, if you need to do it, do what you need to do. But long term, you want to have a routine. Get up the same time every day, even on weekends if you can. And I don't do that, but I aspire towards that. Try to get up the same time because I'm always fucked on Mondays because I sleep in on the weekends. And then, you know, my body's used to waking up at 10 a.m. for Saturday, Sunday. And then all of a sudden I'm up at 6 again. Mondays I always struggle. And then Tuesdays I'm fine, Wednesday's fine, Thursday, Friday's fine.
Is there no way for Monday for you to just like not come in at that time? Like, is there any way to make that not happen?
Absolutely not.
There's no way to hire like an assistant to do that first 2 hours of work?
No, very, very important that for those first few hours on Monday are very, very important. It's the first day of the week, have staff meetings and like what is our plan for the week. You really need to, it sets up the whole week. And even if you could, in theory, which I can't, but even if you could, and you come in at 11, then Tuesday, you're in the same boat as you were Monday.
True.
Otherwise, you'll be tired Tuesday. So if you go in 6 Tuesday, you're just delaying Monday anyway. If you go in 11, then every day you wake up 11. Then on the weekends you sleep until 2 p.m. You're just delaying the inevitable.
Sounds like you don't got that balance right now.
The best thing you got to try and do is just try consistently wake up at the same time, even on weekends. But I don't do that. I bite the bullet on Mondays. But at least during the week, try if you can.
I'm gonna try my best. So, I mean, it's been nice. Like the fact that like I've done so much shit and it's only 1 o'clock. I'm sitting here going like, damn, bro, days are fucking long when you wake up early. Jeez, like I'm used to doing a couple things and then like going to the gym and like that's pretty much the end of the day.
Look, the reason that I used to do it, I'm saying when I started PerCal 20 years ago, I did it for 3 years maybe, is that you can get a lot more. I could get a lot more done at night without the distractions. The phone's not ringing; it's quiet. You can just sit down, focus. I was building the website, loading products, whatever. I just wanted to be left alone, and the only time I had the time to do that was the space to do that was the night, right? I used to love it. I love the night. I always do. I find it like peaceful. The phone's not ringing. Whereas often at work, being in the position that I am, it's very reactive. So yes, the staff know from 7 a.m. once Philip's in, and they're not in there anyway, until maybe 10 a.m., do not disturb me. They're not allowed to put calls through to me, nothing, because I'm sorting out what we're doing next year on this marketing expo, and this big client needs something for the event that's happening in 7 months. I'm doing long-term focus thing. The second I open those floodgates that, okay, Philip's available, I've already got 7 messages of people who would need to speak to the manager, this, that, and I'm just reacting the rest of the day. I'm just, okay, let me phone her back. Okay, in order to help her, I need to do X, Y, Z. So unless I prioritize those first 3 hours or 4 hours to actually doing long-term things, whereas at nighttime, I don't have that. I can really just focus and do what I need to do. So that's why I used to do it. But now, as I say, I just put those things in place. The mornings is time for the staff, like in the beginning, and then for me to do what I need to set up, All right, guys, while Cade's bending over to go, he's fallen asleep on his beanbag already. We got Animoca Brands expanding into the music metaverse with Pixelynx or Pixelynx. Yeah. So Animoca Brands, a gaming studio that we've spoken about numerous times. They've invested in many big projects, including Yuga Labs, Sandbox, many others, and they're expanding into the music metaverse. So Pixelynx is a platform by Joel Zimmerman and Richie Hatton. The platform is also a product by music and gaming industry veteran Ben Turner. Unique blend of music, artists, and technology offers a promising view of the future of Web3. Have you heard? I've never heard of Pixelynx before. Have you?
Nope. Never heard of that in my life.
I also haven't. But either way, they're gaining a majority stake in this company, Pixelynx, and they're moving it or steering it, in the direction of Web3 music. And the acquisition will allow the blockchain giant, being Animoca Brands, to build, invest in, and acquire studios, infrastructure, and technologies that will power the future of the music industry. Animoca Brands brings years of experience with top gaming and Web3 projects. So here it says Pixelynx is an LA-based music and metaverse property operating across 5 countries, which means they're not small, and they've been working towards music's Web3 future. The brand creates physical and digital ecosystems for artists and fans. Additionally, the company will allow creators to direct how they can build experiences for their fans and partners and platforms. And I guess we've often said that music is really a good use case for NFTs because it allows the royalties to be pre-programmed into the contract so that anytime someone plays your song, if it is an NFT itself, automatically those royalties will be paid. You don't have to worry about piracy and things like that. yeah, so now it seems to be more experience related, like concerts, in the metaverse and things like that. But definitely another interesting use case for NFTs and Web3.
Dude, especially because the Web3 music space is just not, ain't nothing there right now. Ain't nothing quite there. It's just really hard to figure out how music NFTs, period.
It's hard to figure out how music and NFTs
just
integrate.
Like music NFTs in general is just like the concept of it when it was first introduced was like the whole idea with Gary Vee is just like you release music, people buy it, they all invest in you, they all pump your music up for you. We just found out that didn't really work. And so I think that kind of.
So I imagine it more like it somehow embedded in the file of the music that anyway you're getting, on your phone or whatever, is every time that song is played anywhere in the world, it automatically puts a transaction through, because it's based on NFT technology or blockchain technology that pays the artist, pays the producer. So there's no more court cases of they never paid me my royalties or copyright stuff or anything like that. How that gets achieved, I don't know, but that's really where I say that, like that for artists and music artists, it really is a no-brainer if you can, and you can do it, and we've seen people do it, to actually launch your song as an NFT.
Yeah, true. I like the
and
art on
as Ledger and things like that get better, your Ledger could effectively become your music player, like an Apple iPod, because people will start to use, let's say a couple of big artists come out and they say we're only launching future music as NFTs. That could get it rolling. I think we're still a far way away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
True. What do you guys think about music NFTs in the chat? What are y'all thinking?
Crypto Dream says, Crypto Money Records, I'll own some little Bitcoin instead of Lil Wayne. So we've already seen Probably Nothing label with Warner Records partner. They're definitely seeing the future. How it's going to look, I don't know. I mean, obviously on an event side of things, you could have a mixture of in real life concert that he is doing in real life, but he could be with haptic suits and whatever, that at the same time that performance is also being broadcast in a metaverse where people who aren't in that country can attend it and still get that experience. It's going to be interesting how it ends up panning out, but it's definitely cool to see and be here for that.
Agreed. Animoca Brands be leading that charge, bro.
For sure. All right, Magic Eden NFT royalty enforcement. So now Magic Eden is now following OpenSea with an NFT royalty enforcement tool. So there's been a lot of controversy lately with OpenSea's new tool, that if you mint your NFT collection on their platform, which a lot of people don't do, and you don't have to do in order to be on OpenSea, but if you actually mint your collection, so you launch your collection through OpenSea's Launchpad, they now have this technology as an NFT enforcement tool that you can program into that minting contract that NFT can never be sold without a royalty. And that automatically excludes it being listed on Blur and things like that.
Yeah.
So they've faced some backlash. I personally think that as long as it's optional to the project, so they can choose whether to put that in place or not, then it's fine. But it seems to be like OpenSea is pushing this narrative quite heavily, saying that projects have to do this if they mint with them. Anyway, it's interesting to see Magic Eden is now following OpenSea, whereas a couple of months ago we were seeing OpenSea following Magic Eden and launching analytics and things like and the launchpad. That Magic Eden was the first to have a launchpad for Solana projects. OpenSea very quickly has a launchpad for Ethereum. Now we're seeing Magic Eden following OpenSea with their NFT royalty enforcement tool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't mind it if it's OpenSea. It's kind of like when you're at a restaurant and they're like, we can refuse to do what, like we're a private establishment, we can do whatever we want. Like when the masks were happening, like some companies were just like, no, fuck you, we don't need the masks. And some companies were like, you have to have the mask to come in here because this is a private like residence basically. And with this kind of thing, if you're going to launch and use OpenSea's contract, it's like, yeah, you got to abide by the rules. Like whatever the rules are is what you got to do. But that's only if you want to actually mint through their protocol.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, I don't really mind enforced royalties. I thought that's what everybody wanted anyway. So
yeah, so it seems like not everyone wants it. Some people do, some people don't.
people
It does
complain about
seem like
everything.
one of those situations where you're screwed if you do and screwed if you don't. From the marketplace perspective, it seems to be really, no matter what you decide
I
to
like this
do,
idea. I think this is good.
as long as it's optional, I'm happy with it
Yeah.
as well, personally. But I mean, I know a lot of people are not, because they're
Well, I don't
saying
actually.
you're
I don't know about
forcing.
optional. I think if you're gonna use OpenSea's contract, they can make the rules. If you're not, you don't have to use it though. Just hire someone else. You know?
Yeah, you see, the problem is they're forcing you to buy things on OpenSea then.
No,
Because
no.
if you subscribe, and a lot of people do, to the fact that the future of NFTs is going to be mostly royalty free, then the marketplaces that we and the new ones that we're seeing are zero royalties. Like Blur is the most recent marketplace, and that's the whole thing. You cannot sell your OpenSea NFT if you mint it like this on Blur. It's impossible. So from a consumer perspective, it's forcing consumers to go onto OpenSea and buy, and it's also forcing sellers to sell on OpenSea, because that's the only place that they can sell. Yes, you can list it on, let's just say, LooksRare, who's now, saying that that they'll do whatever royalties anyone wants, but no one's going to see it.
Right.
We saw that the volume that LooksRare is doing is tiny compared to Blur and OpenSea. So it's interesting. It's an interesting debate. I've made my stance clear on numerous times. I think royalties are good for the space as long as they're within reason and fair. I think 7.5% is ridiculous. I think 2.5% for the creator is fair. Maximum 5%, but each to their own, and everyone has a choice whether they want to buy or not at those prices.
I agree.
All right, so Goldman Sachs, this is really quite interesting. After all the shit that we're seeing, FTX collapsing, obviously we've had Luna, we've had Voyager, we've had Three Arrows, all of that's happening, Luna Terra Luna. And now recently, after the FTX collapse, we've got Goldman Sachs saying, okay, we're now ready to pour millions into crypto startups. It's interesting timing. When there's blood on the streets, maybe that's what they're thinking.
Like the biggest companies don't give a fuck. Like every single announcement ever for crypto is basically noise, because if you just subscribe to the idea that the future is more technical and more digital than today, and the future is going to rely on cryptocurrencies, then literally every single thing is noise, because it's coming either way. And I think the biggest companies who have the ability and luxury to do that, like Goldman Sachs, I think these are the companies right now who don't give a fuck about any of it, and they're building for it, because they know. It's like the top companies, they know, and so they're like, fuck everybody else. We know what's going on.
Yeah, remember we did that chart which showed how much companies like Sony, and there were a fortune of them, had spent on Web3 stuff in the last year, and it was hundreds of millions. So Goldman Sachs is the next one to do it. They're going to be investing hundreds of millions of dollars into cryptocurrency startups. And they've said here, Matthew McDermott, who's the head of digital assets at Goldman, so they actually have a position for that, told Reuters that the collapse of FTX has increased the demand for more reliable, regulated players, and that large financial institutions like them see this as somewhere where they can add value. They can say, look, you've got the Goldman Sachs name behind us. We regulated in the finance world. We haven't stolen your money yet. We're not going to steal your crypto. And I think they're right. I think they do have that level of reputation that any new crypto exchange does not have,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's fine. I like this.
Yeah, they said that they will still be investing despite what's happening in the sector. Very bullish. They're very bullish on it. Its CEO, David Solomon, told reporters on November the 10th, as FTX story unfolded, that he regards cryptocurrencies as very speculative. He sees enormous potential in the core technology, which is always what I say. The blockchain technology is the future. Whether pictures of animals are or not is doubtful, but blockchain technology is the future, right? Interestingly enough, big rivals like Morgan Stanley do not believe this, right, at this point yet.
Yeah.
He did not believe that blockchain technology was the future as much as these.
Well, it's because some people invest based on like currently what it does. Like some people invest more futuristic stuff. Some people are like, look, if it doesn't do something today, then I can't know that it's going to do something later. And some people invest with that mindset, and some people don't. So it kind of depends on like your risk tolerance and like kind of how you are as a person. If you're like more conservative.
Yeah. Also, in any sort of in marketing. So I've got a BCom marketing degree. You learn about the early adopters. So always in any industry, there's the first people who do that or take that on, and it's always hardest for them because it's most expensive to develop, because everything they're doing is brand new, and then it's always easier for the next guys coming up. So from a company perspective, if you think about it, I was going to use the social media example, but you weren't around before Facebook, so it might be lost on you.
Yeah.
But before Facebook, there was MySpace, and MySpace really was the first. There was actually MSN before that, which was just a chat app. They were the first, and their technology, they spent years developing and whatever. And then once people could conceptualize that this is actually a thing and this is how it looks, they spent a week copying everything and just marketing it well. And all of a sudden, then you have Facebook, right? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with consumers. You get the early adopters who wait outside the Apple store to be the first to buy that iPhone, and then you get the guys who are quite close to that, but they're happy to buy it a week or two later, and then you get the guys who are quite happy to buy them secondhand 2 or 3 years later for a quarter of the price, and so on and so forth. You get these different stages of that cycle. We've seen that play out now. Some people in the banking industry are the early adopters, and they're happy to be the first because what's the benefit of being an early adopter from a business perspective is that you are always remembered as the first to market.
Right.
You always have that reputation of being the guys who took the risk, and that takes you quite a long way, right? But you see with Nokia and Apple were not first to market. Nokia was, and where's Nokia today?
Yeah.
Even BlackBerry was before Apple, right?
It's true. I mean, look at all the first collections, only like one has survived as important. It's just punks. All the other first movers don't matter.
Yeah, for now.
At least right now. Maybe Plasma Bears or something comes back one day, but that's a tough one. You really just don't know. You literally don't know. Everyone thought Yahoo was probably going to be it, and then Yahoo just was like, nah, not us. It's Google.
Yeah. All right. Another really cool story, because the World Cup's going on at the moment. Everyone knows about it. And here we got part of that. Another huge brand, huge, Coca-Cola, is integrating NFTs. So they're teaming up with Crypto.com, and they have already, and G-Monk. That's hilarious. It's a offshoot of G-Pug, to release 10,000 NFTs to commemorate the World Cup in Qatar. The FIFA World Cup NFT collection, called Piece of Magic, features unique digital artworks that were created using heat maps of actual games. Heat maps monitor the players' in-game motions during World Cup matches and track feats like tackles, attacks, and goals. NFT collections being developed and hosted on Crypto.com. NFT marketplace. NFTs are available to global football fans who register for Crypto.com NFT platform account on Coca-Cola's fan zone page and click the NFT banner. G-Monk, who's been creating in the digital space for over 21 years, so maybe G-Punk copied G-Monk, who really knows, worked on Hollywood films like Tron, said that the piece of magic will be that football data will be the paintbrush to render the visual story. So it's almost like generative, sort of, not art really, but it sort of is, because based on the heat maps of the game will determine what the NFTs look like.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with that. I'd much rather would have been like photography of like the players or something, or like footage or something that actually, I don't know. I feel like they had a great opportunity here to do something like that, more artistic, but I guess they can make this artistic. I just don't think I would be interested in something like that.
It's funny because I think this is like, it's just cool to see big brands playing with the technology, because like before NFTs you could always do good art, and Coca-Cola does have beautiful art on a lot of their ads and things like that. And the benefit of one of the benefits of blockchain technology is the ability to do things like this, to render a piece of art based on live data from a game. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's, regardless of what it ends up looking like, I like that they're using a new technology in a way that they couldn't previously do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. From a perspective of like, we are just trying to make this more chill and more relaxed. And it's like, oh yeah, it's just a digital thing that you're going to get. In that case, it's dope. I just think they could have done better. I just think they could have done photos or videos of moments in the World Cup. I don't know if you need 10,000, but if they're just going for a mass adoption / we're rolling these out almost like McDonald's toys, that's different.
Yeah.
So it depends how they're going to launch it.
They could have done both, bro. They could, or maybe they are. I mean, it could have been a mixture of the two. It could have been, a heat map generated, but really nice art piece as a part of it. It could have been, can be both, and maybe they are even.
Yeah.
I saw something interesting in the comments for a second, and then I lost it. Crypto Dream. Yeah, exactly. So I know this as well.
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Did
so
not know that.
Yahoo was the leader, bro. They were the first to market, right?
Damn.
And Google came after. And Yahoo had the chance to buy them for $1 billion.
Wow. That's actually fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then they went back and they said, yeah, and then the price had gone up and they never ended up doing it. And there's actually a lot of stories like that where, offers were turned down. The guys who thought they were too big to fail and would never be taken over, they got cocky, and they never pulled the trigger on their, at that stage, small competitor who ended up becoming the market leader. And the other one ended up suffering as a result. We've seen it a lot. It's really interesting. Great comment there, Crypto Dream. Thank you.
Hell yeah, Crypto Dream. Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Where am I? You can see it's the end of the year. I mean, I am. All right. So good news in the space, but also a bit of FUD with it that I actually want to find, because I really want to be. I've hinted at now that FTX has fallen, and I put a video out there with a bit of a clickbaity title, like Binance not safe or something. Now that FTX has fallen, it makes you think of all the others, right? It really does. Coinbase, Binance. So Binance has been on this path of proving their reserves. They did an audit, an external audit. Again, I haven't looked at that audit, right? And even if I did, I wouldn't really know how to know if it's legit or not, but it shows that their holdings are over collateralized. Binance also has published their wallets of their holdings and all the rest. Usually if an auditor does do it, obviously if they sign off at it and anything goes wrong, then their name is on the line. So let's just say Deloitte, for example, signs off on an audit and they end up saying, yes, that this company does have enough collateral for all the holdings and deposits. And then it turns out that that's false. Deloitte can be very heavily sued and whatever and have to pay out people. So I did see here that it was concluded by the South African business unit of the international audit firm Mazars. So I do know the company Mazars. I must be honest, I don't know them well. I know their name. I must be honest, whenever I see people using a South African company, I think to myself, why? Because, I think we all know that there's a lot of corruption in South Africa. So maybe they were able to pay. I'm not saying they did. I'm just, as my skeptical hat is like, okay.
Bro, if CZ and Binance are not fucking, if they don't have the liquidity, I don't even know what to say at this point. It's like, if you're a centralized exchange at all, like, I just can't imagine. I don't know. Everyone's crashed. Like, how do you not have your shit together? Hey, look at that. Gary V copied me again. What's new? What's fucking new?
What's going on here?
Every single time.
Okay.
Every single fucking time. Same
that's
day,
hilarious.
bro. Isn't that?
Dude, Gary V's came out first, you fucker. I
swear
saw
to
it.
fucking God, he watches me. I swear to God, he watches me because this
Well,
is like
that's
the
how-
5th time something weird like
That's how I feel about Twitter coming out. Ooh, look how cool.
Yeah,
That's how I
baby.
feel about Twitter coming out with the different colored check marks when that was my comment. I even said it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I said it on the stream like a month ago, and all of a sudden, oh, we're doing. But what I'm looking for is why there's nothing of. Oh, there we go. Thank God. All right. Don't know how he's tweeting in the middle of our show, guys.
What do you mean?
In the middle of our show. But what I'm actually looking for is something that. What I'm actually looking for is something that I retweeted earlier. That's not great. Yeah, that's separate. This from Mike Alfred over here. Okay, it falls onto this. So just to give a bit of context, Mike Alfred, someone I follow, so a big investor. He's on the board of a lot of companies. Huh?
You're a fraud.
Bro, it's like when you said I wasn't following you and I push follow. Sometimes when I'm doing my stuff, I unfollow things by mistake. Look, I saw his tweet earlier, bro, and retweeted it. How did I see it? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Here he says more than 70% of Binance reserves are in BNB, BUSD, and Tether. That's a literal disaster waiting to happen. What's going to light the match? So here he's saying current prices, maybe they over collateralized, but just like we saw with FTX's token, if something starts to fail, these two, which is almost 50% of his holding, are Binance's own coins. Yeah. So they can go to zero overnight. So that is concerning. And Tether at the moment's got a lot of FUD around it, and not FUD like as if it doesn't deserve it. I haven't looked into it enough, but if you do have USDT, I would move it into USDC immediately. I really would. Sure. But take that out of it because that's not related to Binance. Here, 54%, almost 55% of their holding is in their own coins, bro.
If that's true, which I think it is, that's pretty fucked. Because that's literally the exact same thing that happened with the FTT token.
Exactly, bro.
That's not good. And the thing is, like, when this all happened with FTX, I was like, there's no way CZ would do this unless he knew that he was good. And I'm worried that it would be hard for me to believe that they're not good if he was going to push forward and basically out FTX for the exact same thing. It just doesn't make any sense why he would bring attention to that if they're both doing it.
Yeah.
You know? So
I don't know. These guys, it gets to them, Kate.
Well, here's the thing: like all the biggest, still even all the biggest YouTubers,
to their brain, makes them
creators,
think.
Well, I know that, but like people still stand by
untouchable.
Binance. People still stand by Binance, and like they're still a trusted exchange, even with all this shit that's been happening. A lot of content creators still love Binance. So I don't know.
Yeah. But bro, rewind 2 months, there were a lot of content creators that swore by FTX, bro.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like that was before everything fell apart. Now we're at a point where everyone's falling apart, and there's still people.
No, Luna had fallen.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had fallen before FTX and Voyager.
If Tuna was, if Luna was the first one, that was just one stable coin versus multiple exchanges falling apart. It's very different.
No, but the Luna, the reason I'm saying Tether Luna is because that led to the 3 Arrows, which is an exchange. That led to what's that other one? Both of which FTX bought. The Celsius. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm saying just because people are punting, it doesn't mean they might very well think it's fine, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So haven't we learned anything here? Bottom line is that if you've got your money on a centralized exchange, get it off and custody itself. Buy the new Ledger that we showed you. Not sponsored by Ledger. Wish I was. Buy the new Ledger, self-custody your own, and that's it. Simple. Don't have it on exchanges. And if you need to convert real money into tokens, use an exchange as quickly as possible and get it the hell out of there. Don't hold it on exchanges. We need to learn this lesson, no matter what. I think the chances of Binance falling are very, very slim, especially now that they've picked up a lot of market share from FTX. But there's a chance, bro. And
yes, there is always a chance.
And it's actually really a good segue into this next one, and then we're going to get on to questions. So this is the last one, but this is a perfect segue. So this is really interesting. And guys who know a lot more than me have spoken about this in the last day or two. And there is very strong evidence that SBF orchestrated the UST lunar collapse.
Whoa.
But huge. Like he was buying up their tokens the day before, dumped them all UST. Huge. So they've now, the federal prosecutors are officially investigating Sam for the UST lunar collapse. And since then, Do Kwon has come out with very interesting threads saying 100% that he thinks that there's something involved here. So is this
Holy
just
shit.
yeah, this is proper, bro.
Dude, that's fucking big right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. So they're saying that Sam Bankman-Fried is the reason that the stablecoin UST lost its peg in May 2022. And that was all started by FTX or Sam Bankman-Fried.
If that's true, that is so fucked. He's even more of a weasel than I thought.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
So much. I mean, yeah. So how could they have done it? They go into details, but it's not just one source. It's a lot of good sources, and they show the exact dates and when he bought and when he sold, and that he literally was accumulating Tether up until that point and dumped it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's all allegedly at the moment. But yeah, here you can see Do Kwon chiming in. I'll tell you what he said. I think the time has come for Genesis Trading to reveal if they provided the 1 billion UST shortly before the crash to FBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, or Alameda. The purchase from LFG was represented as stemming from the interest to participate in the Terra DeFi ecosystem, not to provide someone with ammo for the peg. So he's saying Genesis, who's now in trouble at the moment, the theory is that they were the one that provided FTX with the $1 billion worth of UST.
Mm-hmm.
That in effect was only sold to them on the basis that they were using that to participate in Terra DeFi,
right,
not to be sold on to someone else who could then potentially use it to take them down. Mm-hmm. And he carries on. Says another question. Alameda borrowed 9 figures in Bitcoin from Voyager on DPEG dates, and also other large firms to borrow more than 10 figures. What was this amount needed for? Yeah. Right? So he's saying that these guys were stacking up huge amounts and then orchestrated this attack on Terra and Luna.
Yeah, bro, that's... I mean, here's the thing, like, even, like, no matter what comes out of this,
comes in darkness, what's done in darkness will come to light.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that one's... If that's true, there's nothing else to really say about it. It's just kind of like, damn, like it's just another one.
If that's true, he's also screwed. Bottom line is whether this was so first of all, if this was what they think it was, Sam is in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, he's going to
because if this is proven, it's going to take a long time in courts and whatever. If this is proven, and blockchain is provable, and people will Genesis will rat if that means that they're not going to be charged. He's going to end up in prison a long time. But I think the important thing is, just from Do Kwon's side, is this can't be an escape for Do Kwon to say that his system was manipulated. Because if this could be done by SBF, it could have been done by other people, and it would have been done by other people in the space. We know the space. We know guys like this. It's shark eats shark, right? So it would have happened anyway, because the vulnerabilities were there for it to happen. And that's Do Kwon's fault. That's no one else's fault. But it is very interesting to see that this could have all been caused by Alameda through Genesis.
Dude, FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried are already like completely vilified at this point. But dude, if that comes out, that'll probably be the biggest story in crypto of all time. This entire last month, like of all time in crypto. So people who are watching, this shit is whack. This shit is super wacky right now.
Yeah, so that's the story, guys. So that's what we got for you. Then let's get into our Q&A over here. So for anyone who doesn't know, every week we're doing a Q&A. You can ask on our Twitter any questions you want us to ask that week, and we will cover them. And don't be shy. Yeah, we'd like to get more questions. It would be great. So I've got a couple from our friend Crypto Dream. The first one is, Kate, do you own any? It's for me and you. I'm asking you, do you own any comic books?
No.
Okay, you have to ask me.
Do you have any comic books?
No. I've got a few, actually.
Oh, I was going to say, what?
I got a couple, but I don't really. I sort of started, and a guy sort of guided me, and I got a couple of really low, whatever ones. And I never really got properly into it.
Yeah, comic books
but I
are
did
not
used
really
to.
for me.
Did used to be very into, like we said, I think last week or the week before, into Archie comics and all the rest. But as far as my things that I collect now as an adult, comic books is not one of them. But being a collector, I have a couple of comic books in a box somewhere.
Yeah, no comic books for me, sadly.
All right, cool. Would you rather go see Cade or Cade see you? So I hope both Cade and I can agree on this, but I think it's easier for Cade to travel to me than it is for me to travel to Cade, as far as me leaving my children. Bianca will be fine. I'm not like, it's nothing there, but I've traveled without my family twice in my life. The once was to London for my little sister's wedding about 10 years ago. And the other one was for Ellie Perpignan, my best friend's wedding overseas as well. Those are the two times that I've left. It just doesn't make sense to pick up the whole family for 2 or 3 days. It was always during the year. So it wasn't when I was on holiday. So I had to sort of go quickly and get back quickly. It didn't make sense to travel. And both times, my children, like they're crying. Even when I tried to phone them, they couldn't even talk to me. They were so upset that I wasn't there, and they felt like I'd abandoned them. Yes, they are older now, but it's still. I mean, I'm a family guy, and I would be guilty to pick up and leave to go see a friend and have fun without my family. Whereas Kate doesn't have those tie downs.
No, I would leave. I wouldn't care to have you.
Kate's already on an airplane.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, dude. I haven't been to South Africa. I'd love to go.
Come. You can stay with me, bro. I've got with pleasure. You're welcome. Come. Come.
South Africa.
All right, my brother. So that's it.
Hell yeah.
Guys, thank you for joining us. A reminder that next Friday, the Friday after, and the Friday after. So the next 3 Fridays, the whole of December, I'm away, so we're not doing any shows. We will be back with a Vengeance on the 6th of January, Friday the 6th of January. Until then, I look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Thank you all for watching us. Thank you for your support. Stay positive, stay sane, and we will see you 6th of Jan, 2023.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all the things. Well, 100%. I'll still be here. I'll be posting, but for me and Philip.
Follow Cade.
Follow me, like the